Right back. What's good, y'all? Rahul. And so it is. The death of the dragon. Right? If you've been walking, which a lot of y'all have, you know it's me who come on and connect all the dots when people are seeing things and they may or may not be figuring out why the shit is taking place. I come on and I connect the dots. So what just took place recently, and I'm going to be jumping over here on Google to show, some of these things, or at least to pull these things up to have it and show y'all where y'all can go find these things. What just took place recently, let's type it in, Killer Mike arrested, right? Now, if y'all know, if you've been walking with me, I met Killer Mike in 2019. And interestingly enough, I think I was 19 years old going on 20 years old, one of them. Or it might have been 2018. I think it was 2018 I met him because I was 19. Yeah, I was 19 when I met Killer Mike. He went on live. He had some other females that was on live for him. And he was walking around in the back and he was talking to some of the people who was fans of him, right? One of his fans got on and started talking to his ass about some sports. You know what I mean? Like some whatever the fuck, some sports, whoever the hell was winning at the time. It might have been basketball, football, one of the fucking sports teams. I don't know nothing about that shit. So I waited because I kept sending the requests, trying to see if they'll be able to pull me up. They pulled me up and I started speaking to Killer Mike and I was explaining to him my age, who I was, where I was from, Atlanta, what I stood for, how I was one of those people who were actual activists, not just playing like they active and all this, stuff that people know about now, years later after all the work that's been put in up to this point. And I seen him back there listening and stuff like that to what I was saying. But after, in the middle of what I was saying, the nigga was like, I ain't gonna lie to you. He said, I'm too hot for all that shit right now. He said, I'm too hot for all that. Right? And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I'm too hot for all that. You know what I mean? He was like, but you can just DM me and I'll get in contact with you, da-da-da-da-da. And what's so crazy, I had already been DMing him, trying to reach out to him about the same exact thing. First of all, you from Atlanta. You a big artist from Atlanta. You were closely associated, especially through people like African Bambaataa, the Right Knowledge movement. You understand? That's why a lot of the stuff that he talk about come from that conscious realm. You understand? Because of his bloodline, for one, and who was exposed to that green light. You in Atlanta, a young boy, 19 years old, is explaining to you that he is actually sincere about fighting for the people and all this other stuff that everybody throwing around now, like it's a piece of badge that, they just got yesterday. You see him fighting for this, and you told him you was, quote unquote, too high to have the conversation. I noted the shit out of that. And from then, I never fucked with Killer Mike. You know what I'm saying? And I always let people know, for one, if you meet me and you don't see that green light, if you meet me, especially at the age that I was back then, and you didn't know that you weren't supposed to tell me that you were too high to have the conversation about a revolution when this ain't no fucking job that you clock out of. You weren't too high to have a conversation about sports. You understand? And you weren't too high to fix your mouth to tell me you were too high to have a conversation about all this revolutionary conscious evolution shit that everybody kick it like they give a fuck about. You understand? Because to them, the cameras wasn't on. I wasn't nobody. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't mean shit, but it would go on to mean a lot of things. So I never fucked with Killer Mike after that. And he might not have even known I was a part of the same dissertation that he was a part of when the brother Garfield Bright, who was a part of the group Shy, right, came through. And he met me when I was younger. We got all kind of documentaries that we filmed that we ain't never released yet, right? Things that I was over. I was over the editing and everything. And he had something called Rod Inc., Rod Incorporated. And when I was 16 years old, we used to meet up. It was him and like 3 other brothers. We meet up. We do ciphers. We be breaking things down. All that stuff is recorded. So he hit me up and he was like, yo, he wanted me to become a part of his dissertation because he was teaching at Georgia State. And he said he wanted to feature me in his actual dissertation. And I'm featured in it. So if you go look up Omari Hargrove, Garfield Bright, right, or Omari Hargrove, Soul in the Can, you'll see that I'm featured in the same exact dissertation that Killer Mike is featured in. But he never asked me my name. He never asked me who I was and none of that. And people like Garfield Bright held him in high regard. So when I went ahead and told Garfield Bright that, he was a little shook. You know what I'm saying? That was even the response. And he was like, Omari, he said, man, he said, Faise, he said, you like the litmus test. He said, anybody that say they are something, when you meet them, it's like, okay, are those real diamonds? You understand? You take out the diamond tester and we're going to see. Or we're going to use this litmus tester and we're going to see what's your alkaline state or your acidic state at that point in time. We're going to test it to say if you true blue, it's going to show up when I show up. You understand? So they weren't really picking up on that. So he thought I was somebody that he could just tell off. That's just a little background about how I didn't encounter him before. And it made sense to me when the shit went down in with the George Floyd explosion, when they had all them rituals brewing through the cities and people had fuck Killer Mike spray painted all the way all through downtown Centennial Park on the bridges and everything, because we was outside when Killer Mike told niggas to go outside and burn everything down. He said, burn this motherfucker to the ground. It was him and Clifford, T.I. said, go burn this shit down, right? Then as soon as niggas went outside, because them two niggas from Atlanta told us to go outside, as soon as ask me how I know. Was I on my couch? Ask me how I know. Because I went my ass outside with them niggas. As soon as I seen niggas was on TV, I was in the middle of literally shooting a video. And I told them niggas, I'll be back. And I went to go. It took me 15 minutes to get there, right? Which was another thing I was saying. If it took me 15 minutes to get downtown, y'all niggas from Atlanta, how the fuck y'all make it to the news station to talk to niggas who actively downtown before bringing y'all ass down there where the fuck they was at to talk to them? You don't think if Killer Mike and T.I. would have showed up where niggas was at, that we wouldn't have listened? You don't think we wouldn't have even at least heard what they had to say? But the crazy thing is, they were the ones who incited those so-called riots. They were the ones who incited those protests, because as soon as it was Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and the rest of them, T.I. was like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Atlanta, I'm waiting on y'all. Remember that bullshit? He kept doing that us or else shit. He's like, Atlanta, I'm waiting on y'all. Okay, Atlanta got dressed. They got up and they went out there and they burnt shit. You know what I'm saying? How motherfuckers like burn shit to the ground. They burnt the police car. They burnt the ice cream truck. I was standing right there. You understand? But then niggas went home later and seen that the niggas who told them to go outside was on the news asking them why they was outside. And I'm the only one scratching my head say y'all niggas was the ones who told niggas to get active. So when niggas watched the news and then was like, whoa, what the fuck? When they was like, yo, you can't do this. Remember when T.I. said that stupid ass shit? You like, yo, this is Wakanda. It must be protected. Remember that dumb ass shit? Okay, T.I. probably didn't even want to get his ass up. They probably went and got T.I. because they know you and Killer Mike, T.I. and Killer Mike was the ones who told niggas to go outside. So they went and got T.I. and Killer Mike and brought them niggas on the news and said, tell them to shut that shit down. Oh, niggas did not like that. Niggas went downtown the next day. I was with niggas and niggas was spray painting fuck Killer Mike. I didn't spray paint fuck Killer Mike, but I stood back there. I didn't tell them to stop spray painting it. And I seen niggas spray paint in red letters, fuck Killer Mike, all over the little bridge down there in front of the Centennial Ferris wheel, right there by the CNN building where the skateboards and bricks got through windows and all that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because they weren't fucking with that. So that's a little background. Because I was like, yo, all this shit is a game to these niggas. This shit is another business to these niggas. This shit is just like, how you gonna clock out? How do we make you clock out? Another reason, you know what I'm saying, why that shit was hilarious to me. Because that would have got you more in tune in what the fuck I was saying. I know niggas who was 14, 15, 16 years old smoking weed. And as soon as they get to rolling up and they blow their shit, they know I don't smoke. But we get into a whole conversation and a session, and them niggas is absorbing and listening more to what I'm saying because they high. You know what I'm saying? So how the fuck Killer Mike had the audacity to tell me he was too high to have that conversation? I noted the fuck out of it. And like I said, I never forget anything. And so to me, Killer Mike, not true blue. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You can fuck with him if you want to. But if you can tell a 19-year-old that you too high to have a conversation about this shit that you claim is so urgent to you, then you full of shit. So just put that out there. But then, so here goes the read. The read is Killer Mike's album, Michael. Do y'all think this is a coincidence? Killer Mike's album, Michael, just won Album of the Year for 2023. Now, if you've been here, you know why I'm on here explaining this. If you've been here, you already understand where we going with this, okay, and what these doors could be leading to. Because I had an album that came out 9/11, September 11th. And that album was called Michael. And that album had 12 tracks on it. And I remember coming on here showing y'all why I did 12 tracks. I said, look at it like this. I said Revelation chapter 12. This is why. It's 12 tracks, 33 minutes. Here go the breakdown. Revelation chapter 12, right? In Revelation chapter 12, Michael is mentioned in the Bible. Listen to what I'm telling you. And Michael is an angel. So if you go and look at the cover of Killer Mike's album, you will see Killer Mike with devil horns, interestingly enough, right? And angelic halo, okay? And you know the halo is associated with the angels. So Killer Mike is Michael, right? Or Michael, what was it? Santiago Render was the whole name of it. And Santiago meant St. James, some other shit. We can get into that in a second, right? So Michael or Michael, like Miguel, means one who is like God, okay? So his name is Killer Mike, okay? And he appears with devil horns, which Michaels won't do. Remember I told you, I'm really Michael them, okay? The same way you got Christ, the same way you got Jesuses or Messiahs or Messiahs or gurus or Buddhas. And you got all these people who take on these roles as teachers, leaders, whatever. And then you have the other side of it, which is called false messiahs, false Jesuses, false Michaels, false gurus, false Buddhas. Okay, you get what I'm saying? The ones who would never show forth the green light, but they will rock with the red or the amber. So he appears with the horns on his cover with the halo. You understand? But had the nerve to call the shit Michael. Now, nobody the fuck knew that the Michael album existed. Nobody didn't know. Everybody is just as shocked as probably y'all are that Killer Mike even still make music. Right? So didn't nobody even know the nigga had an album called Michael. Now check this out. Why does the album come out on June 16th? Why did it come out on June 16th of last year? You understand? Now, if you don't know that date, Tupac Amaru Shakur, you understand, who I've been highlighting all year last year about one of the ones who went up against the Bad Boys. Who was the Bad Boys? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to the Ninth Hour album. On the Ninth Hour song, I break this down. You understand? So the Bad Boys was the dragon in them. And how do you know them? By tone. Puff, right? Puffy, right? We would huff and puff and blow you. The wolves or the dragon huffs and puffs like they show you in Shrek. Right? So Puff Diddy, which meant the dragon, okay, the father dragon, Diddy is daddy. They used to literally call him Puff Daddy. All right. So the father dragon, which was one of the old dragons or the old serpents that was mentioned in the book of Revelation, you understand, that went to war with Michael, was called the Bad Boys. So that means that there's an opposite of these bad boys. And who were the bad boys? The good boys. And remember, there was somebody called Tupac Amaru. Listen to the tone. Mar meant war. Never forget that. Amaru Shakur that had to go up against the bad boys. You understand? He kept saying, we bad boy killers. Right? And he said, they expect me to be an angel in a world full of devils. Why was he saying that? Because he was literally telling you that these people are devils. You know what I mean? Not they expect me to be an angel in a world full of demons or demonic people. Okay? Because they act like Faise One is the first motherfucker to tell you that they're devils. When Jesus, according to the biblical scripture, literally called a nigga called Peter the devil. Get thee behind me, Shaitan, which meant op. You're a op. Okay, so they want to make you think I'm crazy by saying you're a op. But I'm just saying it in a way that people should understand. It's not just an opposition. It's an opposition that has weight. It's an opposition that has gravity with it, which lets you know that this is the same war that's been taking place, which is why a lot of you say you remind me of Tupac. It's the same war. That's why none of these other artists are actually going against the beast. But Tupac said, kill Illuminati. Faise One said, destroy Baphomet. Destroy the GOAT. Faise One said, we're going to blow their whole living room apart. You understand? And said, go against the beast. If you want to hit something, I said, hit the music industry. I said, all you so-called magicians and practitioners and adepts and warriors and prayer warriors, whoever you want to call yourselves, hit the music industry. If you know how to do magic, all you alchemists, then why are you not hitting the music industry? The same music industry that was Pandora's box thousands of years ago, before Pan's door, listen, was open and let all them evil frequencies out into the communities. And then they showing you now, even the fact that they have streaming services called Pandora, okay, they still trying to hold Pan's door open. All right. And I said, well, we got to close Pan's door. It was forbidden to open those doors. Then that means that the whole industry is open season. Don't you understand that? Karma not even going to respond to that. She ain't going to blink an eye in the direction of that. If you were to destroy their pillars, Karma don't give a fuck. You helping her. She wasn't even going to come visit you unless to tell you thank you, because it still went in alignment with the Fibonacci sequence. It still went in alignment with the golden ratio. It still went in alignment with the order of things, which is what God laid out from the beginning of time. You ever say, let there be light, not darkness. Let there be light, meaning let there be information here that people can understand, affirmation here that people can understand, that'll help keep them out of the darkness or keep them out of the disorder. Okay, the same thing Tahuti was saying, or Ta, or Teo, or Thoth was saying from the beginning, out of the darkness into the light. The same thing they said in the Quran, out of the darkness into the night, which meant what? Or out of the darkness into the light. It meant out of the 6 into the 9. Coming away from this 6 God and going back toward the Most High, the 9 God. Because remember, it is written, all of ye are gods, but all of you are children of the Most High. Now, if you were to sum that up to be mathematics, because never forget that when we said supreme mathematics, we were saying the Superman, super me, listen, supreme, super me, the super me Islamics. Okay, because mathematics literally meant Islam. And a lot of people may not know that. It's about the supreme mathematics and may not understand that we're literally reminding you of what was here before any of this, which was what? Water. And the only super me, or the only Superman that ever existed, was the woman, the double X chromosome, which is what the water was speaking about, or the primordial, the prime order. Listen, prime order, primordial waters was speaking about from the beginning, or the genealogy of Isis, which is referred to as Gene Isis. Okay, or Gene Isis, the genealogy of Isis, Genesis. And from Genesis, what did they say? Water was here first. And people forgot about the water. You understand? So we said, let there be light. That was sonoluminescence right there in the beginning of the book of Genesis. Saying that from that sound or that utterance, light was sparked. Okay, which meant that you were speaking about the primordial waters of chaos. Okay, or the waters of the abyss. And I taught people, remember, when you're hearing chaos or chaos, you're saying a few different things. Chaos is saying something that has to take place. As a matter of fact, there's a climax that takes place when sex occurs that allows for an explosion for all of us to be sitting here having this conversation right now. That's the chaos that happens in the darkness that yields a light. And now scientists are telling you, yes, there is a light or an explosion that takes place at the moment of our zero time reference, which is called the conception. Go look it up. You understand? Which without their ultrasound technology, they wouldn't have been able to behold what was taking place in the womb. Okay, they had to go beyond the sound, or ultra, beyond the sound that we have, which is speaking about the light also, because sound and light work with each other. Remember that. That's why you have sonoluminescence. Okay, sono is sound. Lumen means light, but it also means to open. Okay, and essence. So you use the sono, the sound, to open up the true essence. Are you listening to me? Right? So we said out of the darkness into the light, out of the chaos into the order. So that means that you had to be a part of that cause. You had to activate that causation clause. And why do I say cause? Because cause, chaos, listen, K-use, cause, K-aus, cause. And if you say ka-use, split it down into 2 words. This is how you break the code. You have ka right here, and you have use right here. All right? What is ka? It means spirit. All right? What was spirit? It was the soul, okay, or ruh. And what was the ruh in ancient Kemet? It meant knowledge, R-H. Go look it up. And I broke that down a million times to people, so it should be clear. But you can't just have knowledge. You have to use knowledge, or you're not going to cause any effects. You understand? In order to put your cause in effect and be able to affect things with your cause, you have to be using something that was given to you by the same supermen, meaning ones who were beyond men, that gave us these sciences to begin with. You understand? Which was the women. Why you get into the conversation of in the beginning was the word. What was the word? All right. And we broke that whole thing down for logos. And you flip the logos around and you get sojo. And you get sojo, you get sigil. You understand? Or logotypes, which was logos tupos, which meant markings. Okay. And whoever had the sacred markings, which meant hiero, the word hiero is sacred. And glyphs means markings. Whoever had those sacred markings had that word in the beginning. Which means that in the beginning was the word, was referring to what was kept sacred, literally sacred, a double-edged sword, meaning you're saying 2 things in one, the double-edged tongue. All right, remember the sword is a tongue. When you have that sacred locked up, okay, in the pyramidic text or in the pyramid walls, kept sacred in between that X, all right, where that capstone is above it, but also the center, the central fire pyramid. All right. People had to go and invade those pyramids to get those sacreds, like your Alexander the Great and the rest of those people. They invaded them and they took them over to Greece. You understand? And then they became your philosophers, and then they become your Aristotles and all the rest of these people, your Socrates, and people thought them to be the great ones who had the wisdom. You understand? But they're missing something. They might have a secret, but they don't have the sacred. You with me? They might have the dark or the Sophia, listen, the demiurge, the bottom half of the information, but they didn't have the top half. So if you didn't have the top half or that true sound, okay, which yielded that true light, how are you going to bring forth your essence? Sonoluminescence, a science that you can literally look into today that they're utilizing every day. You understand? So when we brought forth these sciences and said, here goes the sacred, or here goes the knowledge or the spirit, okay, and we breathe that spirit into man, okay, we wanted the ones who were in that reality to become Eve. That's what it was about. That's why we said we breathed our spirit into man, and man became a living soul. The word living means Eve in Hebrew. Go look it up. Or Hawa. Okay? In order for you to become like old living, okay, old living ones, or Yahweh, or Yahweh, or Yahaya, okay, in order for you to become like Yahweh or the Yahwehians, you had to use the knowledge. You had to use the spirit. You had to use the information, which is why we say you can have the faith. Yeah, you can say, oh, I got faith with me. But if you're not full of it, in order to be able to do the works, then the faith without the works wouldn't be Eve. It would be the opposite of Eve. And Eve meant living. So in James chapter 2, verse 20, what do they say? Faith without works is dead. You understand? So everybody got this. We got a conscious community full of information and nobody using it. We got a conscious community to swear they know up and down about the chakras, but nobody's activating it. It took for phase one to show up and remind people about the green light. And we done had the green light since Dr. York braced the scene in the 70s. The green light movement. As a matter of fact, before Dr. York was ever born, there was a being called El Qadir that explained the same thing, okay, which was saying that there's a red world beneath this realm, from the root all the way up to the heart, which is your ceiling if you're trapped in that reality. And when you stand your feet on top of that world, you're literally standing on a new earth, because the earth was down here at that point. But then you climb up those levels. Now you're standing on a new earth, and you have a new heaven above you. Okay, it was El Qadir that had to meet Moses, where the two seas meet, and said, all right, when you done splitting that Red Sea, I got to show you the green one. You understand? So everybody's screaming that they understand and say, well, we don't want to mystify it. Well, then don't mystify it. How about you teach us the science of the green light? How about you come forth and explain what is the significance of the green light? Even now, they're coming out with commercials and everything talking about they can heal through the sounds of the green light. And Dr. Malachi York been speaking about that for a long time. When you had the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek. Melchizedek was Malachi Zadok, which is Malachi Z, as in Malachi York. Nobody wanted to listen to that. And he came through and said, hey, mom, ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, hey, mom. And people still don't get it. Why was it hey, mom? Okay, because when you flip hey, mom backwards, you get mama. And if you want to know who the true messenger of righteousness is, then you have to adhere to the teachings of the mother. Who was the mother? Who was the original master mason? Okay, who is the original eminent one, or M&M? Okay, or M&M gives you M-A-M, which is ma'am, by the way. Who was the original one? None other than Ma'at. Because Ma'at literally meant justice or righteousness. So the original messenger or angel of righteousness was Ma'at, a woman. And Tahuti goes down in history as his story, as being the grand architect, as being the one who was able to bring all this light to the world. But before that being was able to bring light to the world, water or matter, the mother, Ma'at, was already here. You understand what I'm explaining to you? So there's been a war since that moment where there are some beings who can't accept yet that they're not the supermen. And they built up another world. And they said, we're going to build, this is in the book of Isaiah. They said, we're going to build our kingdom. Listen to the word kingdom. They want the kings to be the dominant ones, which is dumb. You understand? We're going to build our kingdom above God's world. You understand? And from the moment that they decided that, when you had the story of Iblis, okay, who said, yo, since you did this, since you're going to cast me out of the higher planes, all right, what does that sound like? It sounds like Sophia's story. Okay, since you cast me out of the higher planes, since the one called Allah, the one who would be the one, Allah, because he's alone and has no partners, all right, according to the biblical scriptures, it actually is the biblical scriptures and Al-Quran, all right, or the Kitab, just say the Kitab, he's speaking about all the scripture, okay? He said what? Alone and has no partners, the one. He was speaking to Allah. He said, since you're going to cause me to be in error and cast me down here into the Nesut realm, go study Sufi cosmology and you'll understand what I'm saying. According to the Nesut material realm, you're going to send me there. All right, well, then everybody that's also here that's supposed to belong to you, okay, I'm going to lead them astray. And I'm going to cause them to be a part of my army. All right, I'm going to cause them to walk with me. I'm going to make disobedience fair seeming to them. I'm going to make disobedience or evil attractive to these people. and who you call Allah or God or Wahed the One, all right, was saying, yo, fine, if they walk with you and they follow you, well, then you can have them. But anybody who's with me can't turn. They going to be with me anyway. You understand? And if you really understand what we're speaking about when we're saying that source, you would still have to be speaking about the original ones who said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, let us make man in our image. Okay? Where the XX chromosome broke off into XY. So the war has been going on since the beginning. How do you know the war has been going on since the beginning? Because they spoke about it in Genesis chapter 3. Hold on to that. Okay? In Genesis chapter 3, that there was going to be a war between the serpent and their seed and the woman and her seed. They didn't say, and there's going to be a war between the serpent and his seed and Adam and his seed. No, they said the serpent, the old serpent that's mentioned in Revelation chapter 12, okay, where Michael is also mentioned there, and their seed versus the woman and her seed. Eve had a seed. You understand? So you have to ask yourself, are we speaking about a snake, okay, and this snake was supposed to be one snake that was created in the field, okay, a beast of the field, which meant that it's not Lucifer that you're talking about, because Lucifer was beheld falling from heaven. He wasn't created as a beast of the field in the Nesset realm, okay? And he would never have argued that he was made out of fire, okay, which means his molecular structure was much faster than Adam's, which literally meant to be ground or clay, okay? He would never argue that he was made out of fire as a higher ascended master and didn't have to bow down to Adam, okay, if he was made as a beast of the field. That's a whole different race of beings, whole different conversation, whole different story. All right. So you have this serpent called Nekas, all right, or Nakash. OK, and this Nakash, or this whispering one, was able to bring forth all of this light that God was supposed to know alone, whoever these gods were. All right. So if this serpent was a solo being, meaning he was by himself, then what do they mean by the serpent seed? What do they mean? You can't tell me we were speaking about actual snakes, because that would literally mean that we're at war with snakes and snakes be minding their damn business. You know what I mean? Long as you don't bother the snakes, they not coming into your home. You know what I mean? Long as you're not bothering the snakes, they not trying to take over countries. Long as you're not bothering the snake, they not trying to nuke nobody. Long as you're not bothering the snake, they not trying to go steal nobody's books and oil. You know what I mean? To throw history into the dirt, all right? Or try to take over a new story and make it theirs using resources. The snakes ain't doing any of that. Snakes are just living their life. You understand? So you must have been speaking about a sly person who had also other people who were there, because the serpent would not have been able to reproduce by themselves. You know what I mean? Unless you were trying to say there was a snake asexually, but again, that's not what it meant. So if you were saying there was a snake or a serpent, then you was describing the nature of a being who had other people there that they could reproduce with. So who were these other snakes? Who were these other people who could reproduce with this serpent being? All right. And how did they have a seed? Are you listening to what I'm explaining to you? So the serpent seed went on as the amber-like beings. All right. And you knew that the serpent seed was able to cross over and certain things through epigenetics that a snake can say to somebody who was at one point in time so-called good or in alignment with being good and rejecting a sin. A serpent or a sly person or a sneaky person, or what you call in our communities a pimp, can get in and turn somebody completely away from the Most High. You understand? Not just a pimp. You got the Jezebels. You got all kind of different spirits. Lilith. All right. They can get in and they can seed something. Listen to the word. They can seed something. And one thing that they seeded can have a whole world of brothers against each other, or a whole world of sisters against each other. That happens on both planes. All right. So you had the murder that took place with Cain and Abel. That was amberlite versus emeraldite. Remember, Abel was referred to as in Hebrew a Tob being. Tob. Go look up T-O-V or T-O-B. Tob, which means good. All right. He was an agreeable or agreeable being. Right. So you had Tob as Abel. Then you had this other being called Cain, who was what's referred to as Ra'ah. All right. And that Ra'ah being, or that disagreeable being, was able to listen to these suggestions of Shaitan because he felt jealous of his brother, who his brother brought forth an offering. All right. And whoever these judges were, all right, was saying, yo, I like this offering over this offering. And it wasn't just because they didn't have anything else to do. They were saying this being put more thought and put more heart into their offering or into their works. And you threw something together and presented it at the altar, and we're rejecting that. You understand? So because of that, Cain fell what? They said his countenance fell, and he felt jealous of his brother, and then he sought out to kill him. And they said, yo, be cautious. Sin is at your door. Who is sin? All right. And why would they say that? They say, yo, the sin is at your door. Sin is an ancient Mesopotamian god, okay, that was called the god of the moon, that appears as Baphomet, today that appears as Hilal today or Halal today. All right, there are many different depictions of this being, or Azazel or Samael. Okay, and that being has been at war with Eve's seed since the beginning. All right, so look at Eve's seed. You had a book that we grew up on. Stay with me now. It was called Green Eggs and Ham. And it was a line that kept going, I do not want them. I don't want these green eggs. You know what I'm saying? What do we say when we say eggs? You say offspring. Stay with me. All right? I don't want this green eggs and ham. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anything to do with Eve's seed. Because if you don't know, Eve is Hawa and Hawa is Haya. And the color of Haya and the color of Hawa and the color of Eve all is green. Go look it up. Go look at what I'm telling you. It's a chakra that sits right in the center of all your 7 chakras. Okay? Or your 7 centers or your 7 points. Okay, or loops or cycles. There's a million different translations for it. But the main one is a cycle or a loop or a center, okay, or a charged point. All right, so you have 7 of those right there in the center. That's referred to as the mental plane or the middle plane, okay, is what's referred to as the Anuhata, okay, Anuhata. And the Anuhata or the unstruck, okay, heart chakra is green. It glows green. All right, it's the heart color. It's the healing color. We did the whole science of green light teaching on the Brother Young Elders YouTube page. If you want to go check that out, you could be able to look into that and find out more about the green light specifically. Okay, so this being was rejecting the green light. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anything to do with Eve's seed, and I don't want anything to do with whoever these Ham people are. You know what I'm saying? Or these Ham people are, who are literally directly linked to whoever these God beings were. All right, as Noah was a chosen one, that they hid something in the book called the Lamech scroll. All right, because Bathanosh, who was Noah's mother, was not able to conceive Noah without the help of another group of beings who were referred to as the guardians, meaning Noah would not have been born if it were not for the guardians. You understand? Not to say that she was infertile, but to say that they helped her, okay, through something that was referred to as artificial insemination. Some of y'all in the Christian faith refer to it as immaculate conception. Okay, so immaculate conception doesn't happen just one time, by the way. It's a million times this shit happens, and people just only count it with Mary and Jesus. But there's a few different people, Rebecca, Bethanosh, there's a lot of people, Sarah, okay, where they say, yo, we weren't supposed to be able to have a child, but we were able to have a child through whatever technology or what you refer to as a miracle now. Okay, that these ancient ones were able to bring forth, or these guides or guardians is what they call them, all right, were able to bring forth. So Enoch was explaining to them that it was the guardians who came through, because Lamech was like, yo, I've been gone for 11 months. How is Bathanos with child? I've been gone for 11 months. You understand? They said, no, the guardians stepped in, and through artificial insemination, they gave her a child. That child became Noah. All right. And they said when Noah was born, he had something in his essence or in his being or his genes that allowed for him to appear in this reality as bioluminescent, meaning his skin was literally glowing and he had light coming from his eyes, they said. All right. So it's the same thing that they were explaining about the Ancient of Days and whoever this Jesus being was. OK, that was described in Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. Are y'all with me? So the point is, Sam, in the story we grew up with, all right, who was introduced to us by Dr. Zeus, or Dr. Zeus or Seuss, okay, you with me? Was one who was saying, I don't want anything to do with whoever these beings are. So who is Sam? All right? And you have to ask yourself, why would Faise One come out with a song, F Black History? Why would he do that? If he's supposed to be one of these people who's associated with this pro-black movement and all this other stuff, why would he do that? Because he's not one of the people who's associated with the pro-black movement. Pro-black is a scam. It's the same scam or the same scheme that's been there since the beginning. They're for the darkness. You understand? Notice your pro-black leaders are always the ones who are telling you how you should feel about a thing. Your pro-black leaders are always the ones who are telling you who you should send your voltage to or your vote to. Your pro-black leaders are always telling you, oh, don't invest in this type of bank, invest in my type of bank, even though it's the same system up under the same Rome that has been up under since they first set up the bank on the side of the river. Hold on to that. You understand? So no, I'm not associated with pro-black because I told you there's no way you could be professionally black for one. You know what I mean? You're going to be a melanin dominant being or you're not a melanin dominant being. How are you getting paid to be melanin dominant? Okay, so black is a trick. I told you black is a color. Black is a code. So when they give you black history, notice the shit only goes back to 1619 or 400 years ago. All right? And people been saying 400 years of slavery for 200 years, not even realizing they weren't even done, you know what I'm saying, in that 200-year point. They had another 200 years to go. And then by the time we get to 2019, where Beyonce comes out with a song called Already. Listen, she was saying all of y'all get ready and all of y'all should be ready. She said, wake up, you a king already. Shine your mind, shine your body. She said, wake up. She came through with a tour last year, called it the Renaissance Tour. She said it's time for a rebirth. Okay? You got Christians still saying she's the devil. You know what I mean? Now, look, that's not to say she's never done anything demonic. I'm not in her living room. I don't know anything about that. However, I'm telling you that these people have been bringing you light. They still can bring light. They're devils. Listen, you want to know what a devil is? A devil is what you do. Okay? Now, if you got a devil that's literally red, got horns poking out their head and a pitchfork in their hand, all right, and it's a tree that done fell in the street, and you got to lift this tree up so that people can pass and not be trapped by whatever tsunami is supposed to come in the next 30 minutes. All right, if that devil get in that street and help you lift up that tree, all right, then that's not the devil in that story. Are you with me? No, people can't understand that. They said the devil is the devil. No, the devil is what you do because you are one deed away from being the devil. All right, to somebody or to yourself. And you're one deed away from being an angel, but we can't really just say angel. You really got to say a good being or an agreeable being, because when you say angel, you go back around to Revelation chapter 12, and they'll tell you that Satan had angels too. You know what I mean? So people think angel mean good. It don't mean good. The same way people think demon or daemon means bad. It's not that it means bad. It's just you got to understand what story is being told at what point in time. You with me? So you had all of these devils, pay attention, that have been bringing forth this darkness. And they wanted people to align with the black code. Why is it all about black? Okay, who was this crow? All right, when you think of a crow, what color do you think? Okay, you had this being called Jim Crow, or a crow who was bringing a piece of information. What's a gem? A piece of information. All right, and that piece of information was brought way before this crow showed up, because you had a question that was asked, say, will he lynch? And yes, he will. They will lynch. When they get power, they will lynch. That's what they always been doing. Lynch is short of one letter, flinch. Okay, with the F, because they're afraid. And anybody that gets power and they're afraid, they'll fight to maintain their power. They'll become self-destructive to maintain their power, even if they don't deserve that power, or they didn't have the right of ownership, okay, or the right of survivorship when it comes to the land you're standing on. They'll still fight to defend it and destroy themselves. Okay, so will he lynch? Yeah. Will he flinch? Hell yeah, because they flinching now. Why are they flinching? Because of that sun. So what's their issue with the sun? Why is Bill Gates trying to fight the sun? Why, when you go outside every day now, are they trying to spray these fake clouds in your atmosphere, knowing there ain't been no clouds out here? And why aren't any clouds out here? You know what I mean? Now look, they can tell you I'm crazy, but all you have to do is walk outside, because you don't have to listen to Faise One. He ain't telling you to believe nothing he say. He telling you to go and do your own research, meaning you search for Ra, the sun, yourself. You go, when they came out with that bullshit ass conspiracy about the Amber Alert, which I told you, I said, all that's an illusion. I said, they pushing this emergency alert system. You remember the conscious community leaders were telling niggas to go into the wilderness. You had niggas who supposed to be woke, who were saying that they're going to put their phone in aluminum foil, put it in a microwave, and then after they put it in a microwave, they were going to put it in a safe. They were going to go and download a code for that safe. They were going to ship it off to Paris, and they were still going to go into the wilderness. And I was the only motherfucker on live. The whole so-called conscious orientation lineup that people keep trying to associate me with, I was the only motherfucker on live laughing. When the shit went off, I said, ain't this an Amber Alert sound? Ain't this the same exact sound? I said, now watch. I said, these motherfuckers gonna tell you it ain't gonna set in just yet. It ain't targeted the zombie nerves in you just yet. And then sure as you could tell, all them other niggas, I wish I could remember his name. I can't remember his name right now. I can't remember his name. I would be able to, some Zen, somebody, Immortal Zen. I think that was the nigga name. All the niggas also, y'all gotta wait. It don't just pop off like that, but it take a little time. He was the same nigga telling niggas to be scared about hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? On Hamburger Day, on National Hamburger Day, when they did a deal on hamburgers, niggas said, listen, I was there. You could lie to whoever. Niggas said that because them hamburgers was 10 cents, anybody that went to go get them hamburgers would die. And that the frequency, do y'all understand what a false prophet is? Do you really understand it? It ain't just biblical, okay? They said the frequency was going to activate. And when that frequency activated, anybody who had them a Mick Jr., whatever the fuck, a Whopper, anything that was 10 cents, anybody who had one of them, you was going to turn into a zombie. Or you was going to die. It was niggas who said it was going to be over for you. You was going to die. Niggas did no such thing. And I was the only motherfucker on here. I said, look, we was singing and everything. My mama came in, we was singing. It was a good time. All right, the shit went off. I said, don't that sound like some Amber Alert shit? Right? And they distracted everybody, had everybody focus on this shit. And niggas was actually instructing people to put their phones underground, dig a hole, put it in there. You know what I mean? Put it in an envelope, put it in your mailbox, lift up the thing and say return to sender so they can have it and get it later. Listen, I'm telling you. And this is who people listen to. These are the people who people be listening to. And I'm saying all you have to do is pay attention to how many times somebody's wrong about something. Look at how many times, how many events these motherfuckers done been wrong about. How many times niggas tried to play prophet and said, watch out. Niggas was saying on this date, the Golden Gate Bridge is going to fall. The Golden Gate, I can get in my car right now and drive across that bitch right now. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was saying that shit from the jump. They were saying, yo, hey, be careful about August 11th of 2022. The Golden Gate Bridge is going to fall. All right, they were using gematria and all this other shit. Niggas was telling me I didn't know what I was talking about because I don't use gematria. I said, y'all are, listen, it's a lot of people who are mimicking the arts, who are mimicking the sciences, right? Gematria is the science of the mother. You don't even realize you're saying the gem that the mother brought, gematria. You're also saying Geo or Gaia is the mother. The water, Mata, matriarch, mitochondria, the powerhouse of all of this information, which is a lodge, by the way. When we ask about the grandmother, we saying, what's your lodge? And that grandmother, that actual lodge is the womb or the house that you live in when you first get here. You understand? So why the fuck would I need to go look at a code reader that's going to send 1,000 different predictions about what the fuck they think going to happen? I'm supposed to choose in between all these options and these words. Why would I do that when I can just listen? When I can just listen. And instead of trying to speak whatever the fuck I want to speak, how about I just listen and let whatever need to come through, come through. Before I got on this live, I took a deep breath and I said, let only the truth come through me. Literally, before I got on, I said, let only the truth come through me. That's gematria. So you want to ask yourself a question. How motherfuckers who using gematria is wrong? They keep getting this shit wrong. They keep missing dates. They playing prophet. But the motherfucker who ain't never told you he doing no gematria, anything like that, somehow when I say some shit, the shit always line up. So Michael won. Let's get to it. Michael won. Now the world don't know about Faise One Michael album. They don't have to, do they? The same way the world didn't know about Faise One, but they found out about the D1 person, all right, or the David person. But they didn't know who Faise One was. They didn't know that when you're looking at the image of David, you're looking at Faise One in 2019. You understand? The same way when niggas found out that there was a 16-year-old Mason teaching class hidden knowledge, all right, they say, oh, this nigga's 16, and niggas was messaging me, asking me questions. I'm like, nigga, that was 4 years ago. People are catching wind of what I've done 4 years later. You understand? And it's showing up in their reality in different ways. So they didn't know. So the world didn't know about Faise One's Michael album. Okay? But Faise One told you and reminded you and showed you the whole breakdown. I said, look at it. I said, we going against the dragon. Remember, I did a whole breakdown. I said, Drake is the dragon. People said, what? This nigga's clout chasing. I said, you don't get it? Drake is the fucking dragon. You have to know why people show up. I told you why 19 Keys was named Jabril Muhammad. You know what I mean? I told you what was going to happen with Nature Boy's situation. I told you what was going to happen with Rashad Jamal's situation. I told you what was going to happen with Brother Polite's situation. I told you what was going to happen with Bobby Hemmitt's situation. I told you what was going to happen with Brother Planet's situation. I literally said these things. You had to been walking with me since the Baphomet is out of order days years ago, where I explained all of this. You understand? So I literally showed people that if you go and look up Drake, the shit literally means dragon. If I'm making it up, well then you telling me that I done reincarnated thousands of times though, because that word been around here for thousands of fucking years. Draco, Tanim, the dragon, or Leviathan. It's been here. You understand? So it just so happens, I told you, I said, don't Drake look like an owl? Don't nigga Drake look like an owl? I said, he don't like an owl ass nigga. Y'all. Like the reason that he came out with the OVO shit is almost like he looked in the mirror one day, he said, I look like a fucking owl. And said, I know what to do. He looked like an owl. Now that I told you, you can't unsee the shit. You gonna look at this nigga and say, this nigga looks like an owl. You have to ask yourself, why this nigga look like an owl? I'm gonna say it enough times that it stick. That's what I'm doing. That's the plan. This nigga looks like an owl. If you never seen an owl, you have to actually go look for an owl, okay? And if you find an owl on Google, you be like, okay, this is him. And then you go and look at Drake. You're going to look at the nose shape. You're going to look at, I said, how does a human being look like an owl? You like, this nigga Faise is on point. How the fuck did I never notice that the OVO nigga literally looked like Molech? He literally looked like the niggas who are associated with the OVO. The OVO been the OVO. It's been the OVO since the beginning of time. That's why they hid the OVO as something called the NWO, which is also referred to as the OWO, and that means one world order. And that OVO is supposed to be up under a group of beings who are referred to as the Molekians, all right, or the Baalians. And those Baalians, like I told you, I said, look at it. Ain't nobody coming out to fight Balenciaga. Balenciaga came out and announced their hierarchy. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. I didn't say that on accident. They're announcing their hierarchy, or the arc of their eye, which is higher, or their hierarchy. They saying, yo, we are the king. Balenciaga, Baal is the king. I've been telling folks that for years. Then these niggas, as soon as they do one fucking ad, they say, oh, Balenciaga means Baal is the king. I've been saying that, but it was you conscious community spiritual people who said, we ain't using none of that Bible shit. Y'all got to get out of all that Bible shit. You didn't know Baal was in the Bible? You didn't know they mentioned all that shit in the biblical scripture? The same reason why I said, all y'all niggas been trying to claim that y'all are above a book that you haven't read. You don't know that all this shit been popping off has been coded in the Bible and the Quran. And I showed people Corona as the Quran. I showed people that the number 19 that they placed on Corona was the number 19 that they hid in the Quran in a hidden secret. You understand? But niggas like, we don't need those books because you're too lazy to read them. When you actually go in and read them, I know it takes time, but I've been reading them since I was little. So you got to do the math on this, right? You go and read them, you say, wait a minute, this happened. Wait a minute, this code means this. You start being able to connect these dots. And you start realizing why it seems like even though you're trying to tell me you're above this book, somewhere you still find your way to say, we are all gods. I said, that's right there in Psalms 82, verse 6. Somewhere you still try to tell me about the third eye. Okay, the light of the eye is the body. Somewhere you still try to tell me about the semen retention. Okay, that's in Galatians. Somewhere you tell me about all these things. I'm like, the shit is in the book that you're telling people don't read. You understand? You're saying it in a way that you've been taught to say it, which I can understand it, because they have been misled. But they were misled by the imams and the pastors. You understand? The book itself ain't misled no motherfucking body. The same way the books themselves can't enslave nobody. They said that book enslaved our people. No, the book didn't do shit. You want to know what they used? If you never read a book called The Blueprint for Black Power, I would advise you to read it. I say it's Dr. Amos Wilson. Okay? Go read that book, Blueprint for Black Power. They use abrupt force. That was their tactic from the beginning. They didn't say, hey, read this motherfucking Bible. Get over here and read this Bible. And through the Bible, nigga, they've been using abrupt. They killed people. They made examples of people. They forced people to worship those images. So the question remains, why would Phase One say F Black history? Right? The question is, why have you yet to denounce their month? Why have you yet to denounce and reject that they give you one short month to celebrate a history that probably don't belong to 80% of y'all? He said, how is that possible? Well, first of all, do you understand why they call the U.S. a melting pot? Do you know why they call it that? Because some of y'all come from the Caribbeans. Some of y'all from Europe. Some of y'all have Mongoloid ancestry. Some of you have Caucasoid ancestry. Some of you have Negroid ancestry. Some of y'all have all-planetoid ancestry. So for everybody to say that everybody's ancestors, listen, our ancestors were slaves. Our? What do you mean by that? You didn't ask anybody in here before you started speaking, Umar. You didn't ask everybody in here to provide their genealogy. You didn't ask everybody in here to provide their ancestry. You didn't ask everybody in here to even deliberate upon their etherology. And I was the one who said, look, there go your age right there, AGE, ancestry, genealogy, etherology. Your ancestry, if you don't know, is dealing with all the dates. Your genealogy, if you don't know, is dealing with all your documents. And your etherology, which people probably never heard before me, is dealing with your nature. Who are you? What are your deeds? Because it don't matter if our ancestor was slave. Whoever the hell Tyrone is could still wind up being an enemy if his ancestor was a fucking slave. And we also have to make sure that it's clear that they were never slaves. They were prisoners of war. All of our ancestors, if you're talking about those people who did go through that, they fought. They fought. And because these people came from all these other worlds, literally they were aliens from other worlds, meaning another continent. That's what they call them, other worlds though. And because they came from these other worlds with advanced technology, all right, a lot of these people who were some of your ancestors were not able to fight them. All right. And they weren't able to get the help that they needed to fight them because a lot of these people had secret help that never touched your history books. Because how the fuck did these people get so advanced so damn fast and they didn't know shit? They didn't have any type of advanced civilizations. But we had all the advanced civilizations. So again, you still got to be cautious when you saying we. Because you look at somebody that's melanin dominant and you say us. And niggas like, who? Nigga, I'm CIA. You know what I'm saying? I work with them. You know what I mean? And you think you're saying them, you think you're saying Caucasoids, and you're not. All right? Which that's what Kanye, no, not Kanye, Kanye was kind of saying that too, because he was speaking about the identity being snatched from people. And I told people what he meant. I remember when everybody tried to act like I was crazy when I said, this nigga speaking on Moorish science. That whole breakdown of the 322 and what do you speak about? The status and all this other stuff and how the identity was missing and everything. Nobody want to hear it. When he said white lives matter, I was the only motherfucker who knew what it meant. I said, duh, nigga, that's black lives. Listen, I'm gonna show you if you can manage it. Take a deep breath, all right? Because I'm sure when I say F Black History, 70 niggas left. Okay, you gotta listen. If you think you got all the answers and you think these people who like the Sean Kings and the rest of them are the real leaders who actually give a fuck about you and they don't get $90 million and disappear and all that other shit, fine, leave. But if you know that it's some bullshit going on, stick around. And I'll tell you, because a lot of secrets they don't want people to know. But as a traveler myself, we were literally taught this shit. And I was raised up by Masons and Moors and all of that before I ever became a traveler. So I actually didn't even have to touch the fucking walls, you know what I'm saying, or go behind them doors because they were giving me all the jewels anyway. But going behind them doors changed everything because you start being able to put the light where it's supposed to go. You understand? So if you think you know what I'm saying, you think Tamika Mallory give a fuck, and the reason why she did the Cadillac commercial is because she cared about her people and the struggle and all of that, then that's fine. You know what I mean? If you think Killer Mike can get on a live and tell me that he's too high to have a conversation about the evolution and the revolution of the conscious beings or the melanin dominant people, you think that's normal, that's what it's supposed to be like to be a leader, that's fine. If you think T.I. can go from talking about us or else to be battling 50 Cent about who got the best catalog, and that's what leaders are supposed to do, who have the resources and all the shit they claim that they have, you think that's what they're supposed to do, then fine. You don't belong here. You should go ahead and bounce right now because it's about to get deeper. Righteous. So, this whole conversation about Martin Luther King, all right, or MLK, all right, because even when you're saying MLK, you're saying Molech, all right, it's beginning with the word Michael, because Martin was originally named Michael. That name switched. Now, Michael, again, Michael, is saying one who was like God. So that was Michael King, okay? One who was literally like God, Michael, was shifted to Martin, which is still saying a warrior. You understand? And that warrior went on to fight his way to the top and got approached by some very, very, very powerful individuals, all right, from different organizations, one that you know as the Masons. And everybody who was walking around him was travelers. All right. So there was a conversation about MLK going through one of the lodges in Atlanta to be brought in as an official on paper Mason. How some of these people like, what was the nigga? Al Sharpton, Herman Skip Mason, the rest of these people are on paper as being travelers. Okay. Or Masons like your Harry S. Trumans, the rest of them Shriners, the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? That you can find the information on them as being Masons. But they pulled a fast one. They said, well, if we don't put it on paper, then even when it comes to, because they know the Masonic clause is, people hear masonry, they think devil, right? They wanted to paint, after killing him, they wanted to paint Martin Luther King as the whole face of Black history. So when people think Black History Month, the first motherfucker that pop in their mind is Martin Luther King. So Martin Luther King was just doing his works. You know what I mean? He was getting paid for a lot of shit too. People don't understand. It's business. Right? They dress up in their suits like the NAACP and the rest of the people. They dress in the NOI. All right? It's business. It's not to say that business is a bad thing. However, you're not to forget that a suit is a business attire. You understand? So they went out to do the thing, and they made a lot of changes, especially for the people that were experiencing what they were experiencing at that time. And there's no but that follows that. It's a major respect for all of the people who were able to orchestrate the sit-ins and the boycotts and all of that. Right? However, there was another side of it. And when Malcolm X went over and had his Hajj, all right, over to the Holy Mecca, are you listening? And was able to receive the information about the other side, which was the white, because remember, he came back speaking about how he didn't know that the so-called white people were Muslims also, or the so-called white people were Islamics also, or the so-called white people had supreme mathematics up under their belt too. He thought through the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that it was the black man in America. Listen, the black man which means that you're not actually documented as a man. That's another thing that they kept sacred. So the black man in America, or what's referred to as Black America in the Western Hemisphere, was the original man. And the actual colored man, or the one who was supposed to be the devil, was the Caucasoid. So he went over there in the same time period and found out that it was so-called Caucasoids who were over there that were prostrating and giving salat and all this other stuff, taking shahada, just like the rest of these people who were melanin dominant people. They were Muslims. All right. And he found out through a lot of them other Muslims who were over there, melanin dominant and melanin recessive ones alike, that there was a game being played in the Western Hemisphere. And that game was being played on a board. And that board is referred to as the chessboard. But they made the masses think that that chessboard was a checkerboard. Because if you think it's a checkerboard, you think checkers is being played. But if you don't know it's a chessboard and chess is being played, then you don't know what game is being played right over your head. And people will argue you down and say, it's the same board. And I'm telling you, based off of the circumstances, it's not the same board. It's not even the same pieces. So he came back over here with new knowledge about what black and white meant. And so he said, yo, at one point in time, I spoke what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. He said, you hear me saying the most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us. He said, but now I'm telling you, I done figured something else. He said, it's not about no black and no white thing. It's about a human rights thing. They said he has to be killed. That's when they started to move in. And around the same time, they won't tell you this because they don't want to tell you this. They want to make you think that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was enemies. You understand? They started having sacred meetings and sacred houses. And amongst them sacred meetings were a few sacred brothers from both the blue and the red houses, all right, who were teaching those brothers what the real game was. Brother, let me tell you something about status correction. Brother, let me tell you something about birthright. Brother, let me tell you something about sovereignty. Brother, let me tell you something about you being the rock. You are Morocco. Listen, you are my rock. You know what I'm saying? Brother, let me tell you something about getting information. Brother, let me tell you something about who run the world. Girls, the matriarch. Let me teach you about what they stole from you. So when Kanye came out and was explaining that the same ones who want you to call yourselves black are the same ones who strip the identity from you, I said, I know what this nigga said when Kanye West, listen, Kanye West, that's why I had a teacher that said Kanye or Ye West goes east, out of the west, darkness, into the light. East, okay, which another secret or sacred that's been held, all right, is saying when you're going east, you're actually going west. When you're accessing that light that you get from the east, because the sun rises in the east, okay, when you're accessing that light, you find out what was dark, because darkness meant what? Something that was hidden or concealed or halal or Baphomet or Sophia'd away, all right, or demi-urged away. It was never supposed to be revealed or brought to the light. Okay, so that you could see beyond that veil. That's why Ray and veil are right next to each other. Ra or veil. Ra is light. Never forget that. That's why you say sun rays or ray. Ra, ray. Okay, and veil, veil. When you put a light up to a veil, you can see what's behind it. All right, and then after that, you just got to do what they showed you when Toto was in the Wizard of Oz movie and went up to the curtain or that veil and pulled it back. And you can see the game they've been playing. All right, then you realize who the Tin Man is, the tax identification number. Then you realize who the statue is, all right, as that Tin Man. Then you realize that the statue was supposed to be referring to a version of yourself that couldn't actually exist as a living being, okay? Meaning, if you say you're a statue, all right, I'm going to represent myself, okay? You can't actually represent yourself because if you were trying to represent yourself, that presentation would actually have to be living and breathing. So if you represent yourself and it's not living and breathing, then already you're working on what's referred to as de facto or dis facto. Okay, meaning you're going against the facts. It's not the actual fact that you are that living being that's standing there in that courtroom. And what do you play on the court? A game. Are you listening to me? So you understand now who the Tin Man is and why he needed a heart. And all he needed was a heart because that heart was that connection to the land. All right. And without that heart, which gives you that rhythm or that heartbeat, which is the first song that you hear when you're in the grand house and when you came through in the lodge, when you were naked and you were blind because there was no light. All right, until they started putting light in the womb with the ultrasound, there was no light for the babies. You understand? You saw only darkness. That's all you knew. The only thing you heard was the heartbeat of your own, which sounded like a warping sound. All right, and the heartbeat of your mother. That was the first song you ever heard. You understand? So what do you say? If I could feel. They separated people from that connection to divine. And when you're saying divine, you're speaking about something that is literally connected to the earth. That's why as soon as you came into this reality, what's the first thing they moved to do? The first thing they moved to do, which is not what a lot of these so-called ancestors, as I'm saying, got to say so-called, because we got to break that spell of thinking when you're saying the ancestors, you're talking about everybody. All right. A lot of these so-called ancestors, or whichever ancestors it applies to, all right, didn't do that. They would let the umbilical cord fall off. All right. But these doctors of modern day, as soon as a child is born, they cut the cord. All right. And I explain in the book, How to Love Again, that the umbilical cord, is the what? Compassion of Buddha. If you listen, the basic sound of the universe, which has 3 sounds with it, A, U, and M. All right. And the heart is attached directly to that U. The A is that root, and that M is that third eye. Okay. Which the eye is the mind, by the way. The eye and the brain were one when it came down to the ancient Kemetic ones, or the ancient Egyptians. They didn't really separate the third eye and the brain for a reason. Okay. Because even the pineal gland that is that third eye sits in the brain. Okay. So you have your U, M. All right. A-U-M. The A is that root or that foundation. The U is that heart at that crossroad, okay, or that green light. And then the all right, which is the crown chakra activation, which gives you a corona. Go look up what a corona is. It's that halo that you see the angels having. It's the halo that you see Jesus having. It's the halo that you see Rasulullah, or the messenger of Allah, Muhammad, having. Or anybody who came through as a holy person. For some reason, they all had this glow around them, which the literal word for that is corona. You understand? So anybody who had that corona was able to bring forth the light. So you have your A, U, and M, which is your own. And then there's a silence that takes place after that. Okay? And they count that too as a 4, but that's a secret 4. All right? So the magic number is actually A, U, M. But people think Om is 1 sound, but it's actually 3 sounds. The point is this. When you're saying biblical, all right? I'm saying it like that on purpose. I know it's umbilical. Okay? But you say biblical, you're saying the basic sound of the universe that allows for you to understand the basic information before leaving Earth. Biblical, Bible, okay, or Biblios, okay? Remember they gave you the Helios, Biblios, or which means the sun scroll, all right? So you had to understand the basic information before leaving Earth, and that gave you that Om sound. And that's why to this day, the ones who are called the monks and the nuns, or the nuns, monk and nuns. And we say monk and nun, it's saying mukminun, all right? And mukminun, wa mukminati, is saying the ones who are the believers. Okay, masculine and feminine, of Allah, who is called the source. And I had a song that came out on 9/11 that came out right with the album called Michael. And that song, or actually it's a music video, because the song been out since 2021. The music video aired on 9/11. Stay with me. All right? Because they went around later saying, oh, there's an emergency. Emergency alert. All right? What I say? I dropped it on 9/11 for a reason, and you'll know. Pay attention. You'll see. All right, so I dropped the song Source, or the music video for Source, on 9/11 of last year. And I dropped the album Michael on 9/11 of last year. You with me? That Source song was all about the sun. And if you think I'm playing, go and watch the music video for Source, okay? Or write it down so you can do it later. Go watch the music video for Source, and you will see not only the sun, okay, and the world, which is this world, or Hilal's world, being destroyed. You'll also see me walking around with a umbrella. All right? So you have to ask yourself, if this music video is speaking about the sun and the source, and the song is saying, Nashhadu ila ilaha illallah, all right? We come in the name of the source, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We flipping niggas off the porch. Okay, we speak about the source, the sun. I don't get it, Faise. Why would you be, first of all, walking in blue shoes, okay? And why do you have an umbrella that's also blue if it ain't even raining? You know what I mean? But you have to understand how these things line up. So when Killer Mike was arrested, you will actually see one of the people who was walking with him with an umbrella. All right? And they walking with the umbrella over him. And it was raining. Why is the umbrella there? Why is the blue umbrella there? Why is the blue shoes there? Let me tell you why. You got to learn why. What's my first book? The first book is called Why. All right? The reason for that is because the source goes beyond the sun. All right? That cosmos source, or that heavenly source, all right, which in Hebrew is referred to as Shemayim, all right, when you speak about the heavens, has 2 words, or 2 names, or 2 words that come together to create that word Shemayim. So the word Shem, all right, was dealing with the sun, or Shemesh, all right, or Shema, okay, or Esh, which is say the fire. Okay, so you have Shem Esh, or the fire that is the sun. And then you have Ma'im, which is the water. So you have fire and water. So you're seeing the sun, but you have to remember the water. A lot of people will look up at the source and remember the source through the sun, Okay, but before that light or that sun was here, there was water here. Okay, before we said let there be light, there were the orders of the water here. All right, or the eastern stars that people don't know about. All right, that were here. That's why they dress in all white. They already in all white. The brothers who are the Masons, their job is to earn their badge, okay, to be able to travel to the east so that they can be garbed in the garb of righteousness, which is all white. All right, but the eastern stars, our silent sisters, okay, are already over there in the east, dressed in all white, just like the Muslims wear, okay, which is that guard waiting for that marriage of the lamb to take place or the wedding of the lamb. Okay, many are called, few are chosen. Are you with me? So look at the keys. When Yea, all right, who said, I call myself Yea now because that's the name or the word that appears the most in the Bible. All right, he said you find that word a lot of times in the Bible. I don't know for sure if it's the most. I haven't fact checked that. Okay, he said, I'm always saying Yea because you're saying you. I'm getting your attention. I said the same thing I told people. He came out with the White Lives Matter shirt. Y'all remember that? Because everybody lost their mind, right? I came on and did a teaching. I said White Lives Matter. All right, it was a clubhouse teaching back in the clubhouse days, back in 2022. Okay, so I explained the White Lives Matter. I said this only makes sense when matter becomes live. All right, when you heat up matter, the faster that matter or those molecules move, the hotter they become, the brighter they show up in your reality. So when matter becomes live, it turns white. When you or us, we as human beings complete that journey, okay, from the darkness into the light, across that desert, you receive your all white, which is the holy high. Interestingly enough, Killer Mike mentioned those two words in his last song on his album, which has 14 tracks on it, by the way. And I explained to you what the 14 is because in the on the dollar bill, they have the 13 levels of that pyramid, but nobody counts that 14th level, which is that eye of providence that sits at the top. You understand? And that's a whole different level. It's called the capstone. You with me? So when matter turns live and it continues to heat up, it turns white. This is referred to as state correction or status correction. Why would we say status correction or state correction or statute correction or statistics correction? Because listen, if I give you a statistic, I can give you statistics right now. I can say 60% of the people in here is listening. Other 40% in here is trying to figure out a way that they can disprove it. You know what I'm saying? I can give you a statistic. That don't mean it's true. But the first thing the brain wants to do is believe the statistic. But I just gave you some shit that's called stats or a statute. Don't even have to be real. I can give you some facts that don't have to be actually true. Truth is truth. You understand? So if we say status correction, a statute correction, a stat correction, a state correction, that means we're literally correcting the state. And the state is not speaking about, if I say the state of Florida, all right, I'm not saying the state of Florida to ask you about the landmass that you're calling Florida, all right, which Florida doesn't actually exist. You only make it exist in your brain because you put people at the borders and line and shit up. That doesn't mean anything to the higher ups. We understand that Florida never existed. We're talking about the state of the people that live within those confines. That's it. And what is the state of the people? A condition. That's why every time you go to another state, people are different. You know, like Florida right there next to Georgia. But you cannot tell me that Georgians and Floridians are doing the same thing and saying the same thing and speaking the same way. You go up there to Alabama, you go to New York, niggas is speaking, they're in different states. They're in different conditions. You understand? That's why they announced to you in the George Floyd ritual, they said all 50 states are on fire. Okay? The states weren't on fire, but they were telling people who were the higher ups, who were listening. That's what the higher ups is using the news for. They're listening and watching for people and seeing how they respond to certain things. They know the only information that's being pushed through the masses as a communication is either through their articles that they run behind the scenes or on them dark webs or something that you wouldn't even expect, which is the movies or sci-fi, which is why they put that fiction on there to trick you. They say science fiction. No, ain't no fiction. No, they want people to think that it's fiction, but they put in the truth in the science fiction movies, and then they teach the lies through the news. You understand? That's why I would tell people, go watch that movie, The Stand. All right? It will tell you about all this that's been happening, the psychic communication and all of that. You understand? So the key thing to remember with all of this, with that white lie matter, the state alteration and all of that, if we're saying we're going to correct a state, we're saying we're bringing you out of the darkness into the light. Meaning the state or the condition that your people are in, okay, is darkness. All right? You say, well, Faise, isn't fire light? I say, well, fire is light, but fire is associated with a lower reality. Okay? If you think about hell, what do people think about? What do most people think of? Hell. They think of fire. Okay? When you think about heaven, do you think about fire? No, but you still see heaven is lit up, right? Because those are two different fires. That's why you have what's referred to as the Orishas. Orisha, all right? The Orishas were the ones who were able to elevate in their own consciousness to be able to step through hell and heaven. Meaning they can walk through these realities as they choose. And they even took on forms and started to deal with elements. So you have Oya associated with this water. All of these people were working, and they were people at one point in time. And they elevated and transcended what human beings are referred to as now, or seeing as we are now, who are physical beings. They transcended that. You understand? So Ori is saying my light, or. Go look up or, it means light. And Ish is saying fire. You understand? So they're both lights. Yeah. But Lucifer came with a certain light, and Jesus came with a certain light. All right? There was a reason why we hid for you the sacred true light. Okay? So if there's a true light, then there must be a what? A false light. The same way, if there's a false prophet, there must be a what? A true prophet. The same way, if there's an antichrist or a false Christ, there will be many false Christs. Listen, there will be antichrist rising up who won't say that this person came in the flesh. All this stuff is being broken down. If there's an antichrist or a false Christ, then there must be a true Christ or true Christs with an S. He didn't say there's going to be one false Christ, right? He said there'll be false Christs. You with me? So Christ was saying somebody who was anointed or appointed. All right. Or Christ was saying somebody that was attracted or connected. You go look up the Christa word in our Sanskrit. You'll find somebody that has an attraction, okay, or connection, which is magnetism. All right. Whoever these anointed beings were or appointed beings were, they were supposed to be the Christ. So just because you came up in this particular order, let's say we raise you up as a Mason. That don't mean that as a Mason, you're going to do the good works. We can raise you up as a Rosicrucian. That don't mean as a Rosicrucian you're going to do the good works. Okay, watch this. I can raise you up as a Christian. Christian is an order. You call it whatever you want to call it. Christianity is an order. Islam is an order. All right? Buddhism is an order. Okay? Sikhism is an order. Jainism is an order. All of these things are orders put together to teach a certain way of life. All right? Where people will get something referred to as a carbon copy created, where you will model after, literally model or get in the mold of whatever L came before you. You will model after whoever that leader or that L was, or that elite being was, all right, and teach your children to do the same. Carbon copy. The same reason why the NOI was able to be so successful to this day, because they were able to get a carbon copy. All right? They're going to keep replicating and replicating. Say, all these, that's how soldiers were supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Which is why the agreeable ones moved a certain way and the disagreeable ones moved a certain way. And if you look at these beings and they move, when you look at the Japanese army, or the Korean armies, all right, you look at their feet all doing this. You know what I'm saying? They all they shit doing the same thing. It ain't not a single nigga. If one nigga burp and do this and everybody else doing this, yeah, they gonna get rid of him. The same way the NOI operated. The NOI will say, we gonna stick to this code. This is our moral law, all right, which moral law has multiple meanings. Moral law came from Allah first, all right, and was brought through Fard to them and Elijah Muhammad, all right, and set as more Al. Listen, when I'm saying more Al, I want to be more like Al. Who is Al? Elah. Who is El Elo? All right, God. I want to be more like God, so I'm going to replicate what God is. God wears a suit. God does. These are the teachings, okay, or the lessons. So when we say you're going to be pure, you're going to do this, you're not going to abuse the women, you're going to, okay, this is what you're supposed to do to be an upright man, all right? If you violate that, then you off post. You understand? More people should actually operate that way, okay? So you have the moral law that were given to these people so that they could stay in order. All of these orders, okay, were supposed to raise people up to maintain the order. So watch this. Then you had disorders come out that are called orders. And those disorders were people like Anton LaVey's order, all right, which was the satanic order or the order of Shaitan or the synagogue of Satan. All right, because they spoke about the synagogue of Satan in Book of Revelation chapter 3 verse 9, and Revelation chapter 2 verse 9. You'll read about these people who claimed that they were rocking with the Israelites, all right, or claimed that they were that specific word of people who will fuck up your algorithm if you start throwing the name around, right? They were saying that they were associated with that, and a lot of people have misinterpreted. That's why one of the things that I stepped on, it was like, yo, you got to stop misinterpreting or mistranslating, all right, which is really misinterpreting what's being said, because they never said that these people were the church of Satan. They never said that. They never said that these people, that group of people as a whole, was the synagogue of Satan. They said they know the blasphemy of those who say or claim that they are Jews and are not. You understand? So if you're claiming that you're one and you're not one, then you are by nature, because what would even make you do that? You're by nature associated with a gathering of, listen, synagogue, a gathering of shaitan, meaning opposition. You would be gathering amongst them as opposition if you're not one of the real Israelites. You understand? So you could be a so-called Hebrew Israelite, but if you haven't done your genealogy, which they say is impossible, interestingly enough, because I've talked to a lot of Hebrew Israelite people, they say it's impossible. We got to go based off the prophecies. Okay, if you're going based off the prophecies, I mean, you're only believing that you're an Israelite. You don't know whether or not you're an Israelite. And I don't know why they start with the Deuteronomy thing or the repetition of the law to say that Deuteronomy was a prophecy. Deuteronomy was not a prophecy. Deuteronomy was a warning. So if those were your ancestors who they said, yo, you'll be blessed if you do this, you'll be cursed if you do this. All right, that means your ancestors chose to be cursed by doing whatever they said would happen if they chose to do that. That was not a prophecy. They didn't say that it was inevitable that you would be chained and have a yoke around your neck. None of this stuff was inevitable. But they gave you options the same way they're giving people options now, and people are choosing. You with me? But just to say, oh, you're a melanin dominant person, you met this person named Tazariat, and because you met Tazariat, he want to bring you over here, bless you with a name, you know what I'm saying, teach you about Ben Carter and all this stuff. Okay, cool, you learned about that, but did they ever background check you to find out who and what you are? You know what I'm saying? Did they actually find out whether or not you had ancestry or genealogy that ties to a man named Jacob? They haven't. You with me? So could it be that people who are claiming that they're Hebrew Israelites, which is not, it's interesting because you put the Hebrew in there, Hebrew, you're saying somebody that crossed over to be an Israelite. So you say you're converts? I don't understand. It's interesting when you put them words over there to say you crossed over to being a tribe of Israel or the Israelites or the seed of Judah or whoever you're saying, okay, then the question is, if you have all these people packed together claiming that they're Israelites or claiming they are Jews, or that's what you're really saying, Judas, all right, or Judas, all right, people who are coming after Judah or Judah, all right, if you're saying that you're a part of that tribe, all right, and you haven't actually done a genealogy, you could be a part of the synagogue of Shaitan. It never meant that people who were from Poland or from Spain who claim to be the Jews or the Ashkenazi, whatever you want to call them, it never said that they were Church of Shaitan. You know what I mean? So you have to really get into what's actually being expressed. So there are gatherings now or orders now or houses now that were set up to keep disorder. Baphomet's order was out of order. It was disorder from the beginning. The fact that he had the goat head and the satyr legs, all right, was the disorder because goat was referring to Pan, all right, and the satyr, I already broke that down, was the Saturn light, okay, or satellite. Or we saying Set is the god of disorder, all right, and Or is light. So the god of disorder's light was the Desher light, and that Desher light was called what? Red light or amber light. So you have the amber light who came up under the crossroad or the anahata or the green light, and then you had the green light that was above all the way up to the crown light, okay, which gave you the yield of the ultraviolet or beyond purple, which was the white light, which everybody was supposed to have that as their essence when they cross over them roads. Are y'all with me? So because the music industry is still showing to this day what the rock, listen to it, the rock, as in Peter meant rock, okay, or the stone artist, all right, they wanted everybody to be stoned. Remember Young Thug came out and said, I'm a stoner, I'm a stoner, I'm a stoner. All right, he was saying he was attached to the stone. If you think I'm lying, then why did Young Thug come out with the snake movement? You understand? Why did they amplify the snakes or the serpents? And I told people back when I was in high school, I said, anytime you have a movement of snakes and people are associating themselves with it and they're proud to be snakes, I said something went wrong. Why would you be proud of it? There was never a point in time in history where you call somebody a snake and you meant a good thing. You said, you a snake. You know what I mean? You didn't receive a gift until I say, oh, you shouldn't have. You're such a snake. You never said that. Snakes meant somebody that was going to snake you. Listen, if I say it, snake became a verb. So everybody knows what snake is, but for some reason, just because Bobby Emmett done said some shit about medicine back in the ancient Egyptian days because he heard Dr. York say it, all right, now motherfuckers think that the snake was supposed to be good, but they forgot about Apep. They forgot about Apophis. They forgot about the one who was literally associated with Set, all right, or the god of disorder, who at one point in time, Set was supposed to be helping protect Ra from, but then Set went dark. And when Set went dark, what happened? They said, oh, you're the god of disorder. Set went on to be Satut. Set went on to be Seti. Set went on to be Satan. Set went on to be Satan. All right. And now you have these satellites or the red light technology, which you'll find in the 2001 Space Odyssey movie as Hal, H-A-L, okay, which is Halal, all right, or Heli, okay. You got these pieces of technology floating, all right, called satellites. that are monitoring everything that's happening, including this. You know what I mean? They can see the whole reality, okay? And they came out and they said, we want to trap this reality, okay? Or this world is what I'm saying. And what's referred to as a World Wide Web. You with me? So you ask yourself, who are the ones who weave the webs? The ones who weave the webs are called spiders. And I told you, look at it phonetically. When you're saying spider, you're saying spy door. The door that they're able to look through. And listen, what you're on right now is a spy door. It's a door. Look, it's rectangle. I mean, you can look, they looking at me right now. They said, this motherfucker right here. You know what I mean? They said, this nigga actually doing it. People actually listening to what the fuck he said. We thought that all the right knowledge ones had faded away. We thought all the green light ones had faded away. We thought when we locked Malachi up, that was it. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all been on here and have seen tricky shit happen. And we come back on here and say, see, this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? It's a spy door. Okay, what do they call Young Thug? They call him Spider. You want to know something interesting? Of course you do. Kai Sanat was on his Twitch live stream, right? Or his live stream. And he was yelling at the screen, right? Because Michael won, right? And he was like saying something. He's like, everybody calm down. He said, everybody calm the fuck down. He said, I don't even know who the fuck this is. He was talking about Killer Mike. I don't even know who the fuck this is. You know, peace to you, brother. Positivity to you, brother. Congratulations, da-da-da-da-da. He said, then positivity out the window. He said, positivity out the window. Listen, right? He said, who decided this motherfucker? Who decided this motherfucker? And he started naming the other albums, all right, that went to war with Michael. Listen to what I'm telling you, and you'll hear it. A wise person hear one word, overstand two. He started listening to other weapons that didn't work when they had that war in the heavens. Remember, stars are celebrities. All right? There was a war in the heavens. All right? Remember, Drake was competing with Michael just last year. After I dropped my Michael album, all right, you heard Drake coming out talking about, you know, he had the little glove on, the Michael glove. Remember? Listen. He had the Michael glove on, and they were fighting for Billboard, Billy's board. Remember, Billy, the Billy Goats, they have their own board. All right, where they keeping their own score, and they telling their own story. And on billboards, all right, they were saying, we're trying to see who got more hits. What is a hit? When you think of a hit, what is nigga doing? They fighting a war. Listen to what I'm telling you. All right? So the nigga Kai Sanat, okay, was screaming at the screen, saying, who decided this motherfucker? Who said Michael won? Who was the one who said Michael won? All right? Now, if you've been walking with me, I said that. But not only did I say it, it was already written. This is how it was written, and this is how it shall be. Revelation chapter 12 spoke about Michael and the dragon called Drake fighting and battling. And Michael won, right? Even when they were trying to say, oh, Drake won. That's all an illusion. Y'all hold on. Y'all hold tight. It's all an illusion. The dragon will not win, right? I remember when Dr. York was saying, literally, he said, he ain't going to win, y'all. He said, it's going to look like he going to win. He ain't going to win. Are y'all listening to me? So this nigga yelling at the screen, he said, who decided that this motherfucker wins? Who decided that Michael was album of the year? Do you understand that I have an album called Michael that came out 9/11? What was album of the year? Michael. I didn't even know Killer Mike was still doing shit since the Run of Jewel shit. I ain't seen nothing from him since like 2018, 2017. You understand? I had no idea about this album. It popped up as the album of the year. So what was the album of the year? Michael. My album that the world don't even know of yet. It's in the world, but the world don't comprehend it yet. They don't even know. They haven't obtained it. The world comprehended it not, that the true light is out here. How it's out here. They ain't going to see it yet until I ask them, how many more events, how many more green light events do you need for you to be able to understand? When I say the color is green, that's the color. How many more green lights you need? You done seen green lights all over in the sky. North Carolina getting aurora lights. They done came into Aurora Curl, the little green light shit that's behind me, the little lime green thing, there's a line over across it. They found that shit in the sky. That shit was projected from my fucking bedroom. You know what I mean? NASA said, oh shit, we done found a Christmas tree, a star constellation. All that shit was green. You know what I'm saying? In New York, walked outside, this shit, what the fuck? There's a green flood. You know what I mean? They came out with a movie, Aquaman. All right, what was it? The Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. The whole movie was featuring green light. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing they was fighting was green light. You know what I mean? How many more green light events do you need? You seen Q the Storm come out with the green light, talking about the White House is the green light? You know what I mean? Or the White House had the green light on it? How many more green light events do you need? I told you before we came out with the green light event, if you go back and listen to my old lives, all right, which are on the live archive page, Phase One Live Archive. You go back and listen to them old lives. In them lives, I was saying, I'm telling you, when I say the color is green, it's green. What am I citing or reciting? Wasn't there a person in a movie that had power? There was a movie called The Wiz. And when The Wiz said the color is blue, the color was blue. All right? When The Wiz said the color was green, the color was green. Notice that when each of those colors came through, it was a whole different mood. When each of those colors came through, there was a whole different pattern that showed up that was reflected amongst the whole population of the people that were affected by that light. I'm telling you now, if you didn't know what the green light was, but you started shining that green light around you, or you put up a green light in your house, since I told you to do it back November 6th of last year, which is November. What is November? The November is actually supposed to be the 9 month. Never forget that, because Nueve or Nove or Novum was saying what? 9. Go look at what I'm telling you. That 9th month, when I came out and spoke about that green light and did the whole science of green light class, if you've been streaming that green light, I'm telling you, if you would have even tried to put a red light in your home right now, it wouldn't be on for 30 seconds. Now you would know from switching from green light to red light, you would know what the red light has been doing. So that's a tangible representation of what everybody been running their mouth trying to say. We've been talking about raising our frequency for all these years, and nobody ever thought it's time. Bring forth the actual tangible, all right, science of the green light, where people can actually surround themselves with the green light. Now, Doc did it. Dr. Malachi Z. York did it, but everybody want to act like it didn't happen. Are you with me? So if there is a true light that starts your true ascension process, and if I rub my hands together, my hands are ascending. So let's not spiritualize ascension. Ascension happens in science. When you're going through the different states of matter, from your solid to your liquid to your gas, all right, or from your salt to your mercury to your sulfur if you're an alchemist, all right, and if you're not, you'll become one, okay? Then that's saying ascension. And if you're going to ascend, you have to speed up. And if you're going to speed up, you have to heat up. So this green light is literally charged faster. All right. It's on a higher frequency as far as the nanometers. When they record in these as nanometers on their spectrum. OK, than red is, or orange or yellow. All right. But most people have orange or yellow lights in their home and don't even know what I'm saying. If you just up it 1 more degree or 2 more degrees, OK, then there's going to be a visceral awareness that's going to come. So you may not have known it, but if you try to put a red light in your house, you try to turn on a red light, you're going to be like, wait a minute, it's going to be beating too slow. So we're going into blue soon. You know what I mean? So you're going to get what I'm telling you. There's a different type of wisdom out here. So what am I saying? There was a false light and a true light. There was somebody who came as a false prophet. There was somebody who came as a true prophet. You got real spiritual people, and then you got people who just trying to get some money. That's all this shit is to them. It never meant nothing. It meant money. It meant clout, some attention. You know what I mean? They can use these common words that everybody go crazy over. They ain't never heard them before. And they can manipulate you until Phase One step up and say, wait a minute. Hold on one hot one. Let me ask you a question. They say, oh, shit. Niggas just be terrified. When I be like, let me ask you a question, niggas was literally terrified of that, especially on Clubhouse. I be in there talking, you know what I'm saying? They be in there talking. But as soon as niggas say some shit and I got to do this, if I'm on my phone, I got to do this. Oh, yeah, next thing is finna come. I'll be like, let me ask you something. Here you go. Yeah, here we go. Let's all go there. But let me ask you something. You just said fourth dimension, correct? Can you describe that for me? For those who get it. There's always some sassy answer. Those are the guys who get it. I'm like, that's not even our shit. You know, listen, they don't know what 4D is. They don't know nothing about a 4D, 5D, none of that. Listen, they cannot describe that, but they steady saying it. You know what I mean? Then I tell you, got all these weirdos talking about some, he don't believe in ancestors. And you got to ask them, who's this article? Why do you put this article there? Who is the ancestors? Like everybody's ancestors? What are you talking about? Everybody got different answers. Your mama, not my mama. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? I don't believe the ancestors. And why do people think the ancestors mean good people? Why do people think the ancestors mean like, George Washington Carver, peanut butter, not Jim Jones. That nigga was at the fucking jail system. You know what I'm saying? 90% of his life, he didn't do shit for the fucking peanut butter sandwiches you eat today. Not everybody has something to do with the traffic light. Niggas walking around with the traffic light like he did it. You know, bro, you don't even know what's in the traffic light. You can't even tell me how it changes colors. You know what I mean? What it is? You know what I'm saying? Niggas is mentioning ancestors like let me stop right there. Who say we was this? What are you talking about? We was this. We was kings. Everybody was? How do you have a system? I know they had hierarchies, right? They had peasants. They had all that. So you mean tell me there were no peasants? You mean tell me there was no poor people? Nobody was struggling. There was never a famine. None of it. Everybody was kings. Everybody was gods. You got to stop it. The bullshit is done. As soon as this type of truth, listen, you can't go back. As soon as somebody bring these types of points up to you, like, wait a minute, yeah. How was we all kings? Listen, you was all goddesses and guys. You was all kings and queens. All of us. Oh yeah, this is why you say there are children of the Most High. Yeah, they put that in the book, but they also say you are of your father the devil. They are children of the devil. You say we all God's children. Are we? You know what I mean? Even the fucking serial killers? Yeah, that's God's child. Come on now. All right? So there's a whole different conversation where you think God means some spirit that's good. When he literally said, yo, I don't know what they talking about good shit. Listen, I create peace and evil, nigga. Get up with me. And it's in the book. He said, nigga, I create peace and evil. Right? Nobody was in the flood was like, oh shit, I'm so grateful for this bath. Nobody was doing that. When they was drowning, they said there's some evil shit. And he could have texted us. Nobody didn't tell us that we was fucking up. You know what I mean? But they said Noah. Noah was like, yo, listen to me. They didn't want to listen to Noah. So he didn't send himself. He sent Noah. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know who the fuck Noah is. Tell him to come talk to me if he won't. If he don't think I'm supposed to be setting up shop, selling this shit, I had to tell him to come talk to me. He know where the fuck we at. Next thing you know, niggas go, is it drizzling? Oh, it's been drizzling for 40 days. Nigga, I think we need to run. You know what I'm talking about? Nobody looked up and say, yo, this is some good shit that's falling out the sky. All right, they probably did for the first 2 days, but after a while, niggas say, yo, anybody realize it hasn't stopped raining yet? And they drowned. All these people, listen, the animals drowned. The animals still to this day, they don't even know. They in heaven, they cool, they done got over it, but they still don't know what the fuck they did. It's gonna be a deer one day that's gonna rise up and be like, yo, let me talk to y'all niggas. What the fuck did we do to get up here so damn early? I mean, they not upset. My point is they not upset that they did. Y'all not listening. It's just that they don't know why they there. They don't know what the fuck they even did. You got niggas who trying to make up shit, say the human sin bled off on them. We sweated our sin. I mean, listen, my point is there's too much confusion. Then as soon as the good points come, where people say, wait a minute, and you get up on that good foot, you say, oh shit, we've been beguiled. We've been bamboozled. We've been hoodwinked. We've been ran amok all over again. And it's by some of the people who you putting up on these pedestals as leaders. And you have to ask yourself, why some of these so-called leaders are accepted amongst all of these so-called oppressors. You know what I mean? So no, it's all a game. All right? At the end of the day, literally at the end of the day, all right, you would have had to have some food, you know, something to drink, all right, a place to lay your head, even if it's under a bridge. You have to be able to take care of yourself and provide shelter from inclement weather. All right, you got to be able to breathe clean oxygen so that you can, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is what you have to do. So what is it about at the end of the day? Survival. It's a survival game. So you ask yourself, how are people who are claiming that they higher level and having higher level conversations so concerned about what's happening on the fucking riverbank? And their whole thing is they want you to invest in a bank. Or their whole thing is they want you to bank with them or bank on what they say. And what are you talking about? They want you to show up and pay them so they can talk to you about some shit. You know what I mean? They up there though. They higher level. They beyond all of this. They're guys. They're creators and all kind of shit. And I be like, yo, I seen niggas talking about some Umar Johnson recently with the Black Wall Street, whatever the fuck that's supposed to be. Black, listen, since you've been listening to me, listen to what I just said. Black Wall Street. It don't even sound like some shit that's going nowhere. Black, it means hidden or trapped or doesn't have an identity, meaning they don't even know what the fuck it is. It's a question mark. Remember Mortal Kombat? I mean, when you saw the black character, he wasn't unlocked. He was not yet free. You had to go through so many quests, listen, and ask the right questions, okay, and beat those quests and complete those levels in order to unlock whoever. So what the fuck is this Black Wall? Umar Johnson, Black Wall Street. Umar Johnson was giving you the Black Wall Street speech in somebody else's building. Do y'all get the game yet? Y'all don't know. Do anybody understand what I'm saying? Y'all tell me, yo, y'all got to ask this man what the school that y'all paid for is, right? Because a lot of people don't even know it's already there. but it just needed plumbing. So you mean to tell me for 11 years you couldn't install plumbing? 11 years you couldn't get the AC? Listen, are y'all with me? They done played games. So now the voice out here is like, oh no, the games is over. And they thought that was it. So y'all give people too much credit. They said we don't give enough people credit. You give people too much credit. You done become fans of people. You never were supposed to do that. You became fans of people who supposed to be bringing you out of fan or out of pan. And remember, pan and fan phonetically is the same. All right? You know, fan is short of fanatics. Okay? So what's the addict of a fan? All right? The heart chakra. They can't go beyond that. They don't see themselves as stars. All right? They're fan addicts. And you can't go beyond that addict until you go beyond that addict. That's why I open up the How to Speak Elite book by saying, look, first of all, I am one of the elite. Let's get it clear. I'm one of the elite. It's just what it is. Do what you got to do with it. I said, but I'm not the only one. I see y'all as having the same ability as being the elite. People think elite mean riches. Listen, I could walk outside tomorrow and trip down the stairs and hit my head on a lottery ticket. And I can get up and I'll be $500 million in the pocket. Then now I'm elite. It took me to fall down the stairs and bump my head on the lottery ticket for you to be like, oh, he one of the ones. Oh, we knew he was. Yo, you didn't know. Listen, this is just a fucking ticket. What's so stupid is that this little bitty ass ticket with some numbers on it will make 500 million people treat you different. And you think it's not hard to fool the masses? Listen, it's not hard to fool the masses. Let me tell you something that they probably don't want to tell you, all right? When you become an intellect, which everybody in here is to a certain degree, everybody has their own degree of intellect. But when you become an intellect that actually uses the knowledge, okay, to put it to work, KUs, like we spoke about earlier, all right, and you come with your own righteous cause, okay? That's why the original G's will get behind you as long as it's a righteous cause. They ain't finna respond for no bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Or no petty shit. It's all about righteous causes. When you do that and you access that true light, all right, once you find out what's been hidden, once you find out what words mean what and what organizations did what, and you find out the true story, the mystery, not history, when you come back over here, it's like you graduated from college, all right, with a master's, and they send you back to pre-K. You come back over into this world, it's like, what? This is nothing. Are you with me? So they want people to stay in pre-K, but when you go up them schools, who is the data we talking about? Let's clear it up, all right? Anybody in any situation, okay, who is trying to abuse their power. Anybody in any situation that is abusing their power, that's an elite being who doesn't want you to ascend. It's the motherfucker who, in your community, all right, who's what's called hood rich. And he having his way. He ain't having God's way. He having his way. And he a hood rich nigga, all right? He buying the females, all right? He buying niggas off. Okay, he conquering the block because he got 50 grand. He gonna be the god of his hood all summer with 50,000. You understand? But let a nigga start making some money, all right? He gonna become the enemy to whoever this being is as soon as he start making some money, all right? Which is why when they came through with them PPP loans and all that shit, you had the rappers like Trouble in them who was like mad at niggas. They said, bro, I'm getting y'all niggas starting to get on my nerves. All y'all niggas with all this new money and and y'all trying to do all this. Whoa, why? Because in all actuality, nobody was looking up to them niggas when they had the money. The only reason why they looking up to y'all niggas and think y'all was doing some shit is because you had an illusion associated with you. I don't see that. There's not a single person who they could point to me their bank account and tell me that that's what makes them rich. It might be something to you, but it's not a single person. I've been around billionaires, millionaires, 100,000aires, 10,000aires, and a nigga who, look, nigga, I'm rubbing these two pennies together. It's going to spark a fire. We're going to be able to cook food with it. I mean, I've been around it, and we should be able to see that that's who people are. The character that they possess. The ability to struggle on purpose, if need be, in order to make do for another day. The ability to help other people, not what the fuck you could have did for yourself. Listen, if you say, I made a way for myself. You notice how all these millionaires and billionaires get upset when people start asking them for help? They say, I had to do this. Okay, you had to do that. All right, you did it. Now you got there. Do everybody else have to do that? Does everybody else have to do what you did? Does the youth have to go through what you went through just because you had to go through to be able to get in position? And now that you're in position, you have way more than you need. You're not going to spend all of that in your life. You got way more than you need. You want them to struggle for the chance that you know is very slim to get into the position that you in, and they're not asking to be in your position. They just asking for a little help. You understand? And niggas swear it down. I ain't have no help. I didn't do that. Okay, who were your clients? I found my own clients. Did they buy from you? Yeah, you had help. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? I had built my business myself. And now I own a dealership. I actually produce the cars. But you're not selling it to your damn self. Everybody had help, silly goose. It don't matter what the fuck you do. Everybody had help. So if your help got you to be a 10 millionaire, and you see somebody on the side of the road that just needs some food in their belly for that day, where you're straight for a few generations, they just need some food in their belly for that day, and you see them and say, nobody helped me, not only did you just lie, you just showed your nature. You see yourself as an elite, and you're struggling, you're fighting to survive with the illusion. And in your mind, you think you're thriving because of that. In my mind, I laugh. You understand? It's people who are multimillionaires depressed in the motherfucker. You know what I mean? I did this shit myself their way out of relationships. You know what I mean? Friendships. All right? People in their family don't fuck with them. Okay? They don't, the whole thrill of having to pay prostitutes done ran out. That ain't working with them no more. They lonely. They trying to experience spirituality, but they can't find the right thing. And you got all this money. It never meant anything. So there's nobody who has money. You got to remember that. That's all an illusion. You don't have money. You may have the opportunity to access some shit and be like, oh, I can put my hands on this. I can put my hands on. That's why I gave the joke, which was a reality. You say, oh, nigga to say he got $100,000. He said, nigga, I got $100,000. Can you show me $100,000? Say, yeah, give me 2 days. Right? I come back to the house. I got $100,000. He said, okay, cool. We turn on the news. They say, also, man, just robbed a bank. What? I showed you 100,000. What are you talking about? You had 100,000. Now I got 100,000. Now we the same, right? Now we should be able to kick it with each other. No, it's bullshit. It never meant anything. What these elite care about, that's the only thing that separates these elite who are the actual elite or the eternal elite as they trying to declare themselves, or the Illuminati as they trying to declare themselves. All right. The only thing that's different from them and the person that's in your community doing that stupid shit with the 50K or the 100K, trying to make it seem like they're above people, is they're speaking about resources over here. But these motherfuckers trying to just take in as many liabilities as they can. They want more responsibilities that they can't handle. They just want more shit that don't mean anything that depreciates. All right? And then, let me take you further. How the fuck does something appreciate in value or depreciate in value? How? Because you said so, right? Then you got a car and say, my shit is depreciating. Why? Because they told me as soon as I drove it out the lot, it started not being worth shit no more. Who the fuck convinced you of that when Tupac car sold for damn near, you know what I'm saying, $1 billion? I don't know how the fuck that much shit sold for. It sold for a lot of damn dollars. You know what I'm saying? And that he been gone, and he been not driving that shit. And I don't even think he was driving the shit. You feel what I'm saying? No, the value comes from here. That's the value. Tomorrow, if they say the dollar crash, okay, and they say now the money is obsolete, it means nothing. You have to go outside and collect rocks, all right? And the rocks got to be less than 2 inches, okay? It got to be this size of a rock, and then you can trade that, and each of those rocks got the value of what would have been $100 US. Motherfuckers be out here killing each other over the rocks that's outside of their backyard. You don't get the fuck out my backyard. You know what I'm saying? They're my rocks. Hey, you know how many people die tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? If they come out and say some shit like that, people would die tomorrow about the rocks that they just would have kicked. You ain't telling them niggas to kick rocks no more. You say, kick rocks. You ain't telling niggas to do that no more. You like, yo, if you find a rock, bring it to me. You with me? Just because they put out a color and people accepted it and it changed the whole mood. So when they come forth with that light and say, Corona, red, the color is red, Corona, right? And people say, color is red. Red causes anxiety. All right. Red is a symbol of alert. Okay. Or the color of alert or an emergency. Red is the color of blood. Red is the color of war. Red, if you surround, why do you think horror movies use red all the damn time? It's all red. Red, this, red, that, or dark colors. They might use other colors, but they'll darken them. You know what I mean? They don't shoot the horror movies with all this bright atmosphere and happy music and punchlines. No, unless they're trying to give you a gag. You know what I mean? They literally film that shit to scare you. Listen, even down to the tones. If you're watching a movie, all right, next time you're watching a movie, they got like suspense in it and thrill and all this horror, all this other bullshit. Next time you're watching a movie, hit mute. Listen, if the scene even seemed like it's scary or thrilling or suspenseful, hit the mute button and watch the shit not even be none of that anymore. Because they selling you a whole reality. The picture you're seeing or the video is just the illusion itself. Seeing is believing, meaning seeing is being lied to, all right, or you accepting whatever the fuck you seeing. You have to be able to be an adept or add depth to what you're seeing to be able to go beyond that. That's why I gave you the science of the video game and showed you how 6, VI equals 6, and Dio, DEO means God. Okay? So when you're saying video, you're literally saying the old word or the Latin word videre, which meant to see something, but you're also saying VI Deo, okay, which means literally the 6th God. And that 6th God was all about illusion. This whole world you live in is called the matrix illusion or the simulation, simulation. All right? And I told you, the only way to get out of a simulation is to have assimilation. Because with assimilation, now you have the knowledge. Now you can put all the facts together. All right? And you've assimilated the knowledge to get out of an assimilation. Assimilation is deception. You with me? So when it come through with that deception or those deceptive lights, you don't have to accept it. All right? But when people accept it, they say, yo, we're in danger. All right? We're going to die because they told us we're going to die. All right? This is going to happen. That's going to happen. Well, then what wound up happening is that brain said, oh, shit, I'm in danger. And it started to activate the parts of their body that said we need to survive. And that's what caused for a lot of people to get sick, by the way, especially in the cold season. You're terrified. Your body is saying, I need to survive and fight some shit that's supposed to be right there in front of you. That shit was not there in front of you. That's why Trump kept screaming invisible enemy. Didn't nobody know where the fuck this shit was or where it was coming from. What even is this that you're talking about? All right? But I told you what it was about. All right? So now you have Killer Mike come out with an album called Michael, June 16th, Tupac birthday. Call it whatever you want to call it. All right? But don't call it a coincidence. Because all of these events happening alongside each other is not a coincidence. It's synchronicities at that point. Are you with me? And these different occurrences have come forth to show you that Michael was the significant name of the year 2023. All right? Miguel, remember Miguel with the rope shit? When Miguel hooked himself up to the rope and was hanging from the ceiling, we came on here and broke that down. And I showed you, I said, look, Miguel got a song called Number 9. And I've been speaking about the number 9 shit for the long. Listen, last year, KRS-One, knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everything. All right? KRS-One was going viral because somebody walked up to KRS-One and randomly started rapping about the number 9. Y'all remember that? When I was explaining, I said, all the people talking about 9 ether, all this shit, they got it directly from Dr. Malachi York. Okay? Who was also called the Angel Michael, by the way. All right? So it was said that Michael was going to prevail. So we had Michael. Why I say Miguel? Miguel is Michael. Go look up Miguel and what it means. And then you'll find that it's a variation of the word Michael. So Miguel and Michael. All right. Miguel had the rope. Remember, the rope was tying up to the ceiling, which means it was connected to the heavens. In my book, How to Love Again, that came out in 2022, I spoke of that exact occurrence. A rope, okay, or a vine that will connect you to the heavens. Okay, and that's how you will become like God or reestablish the connection that they severed, okay, the moment that you were birthed into this reality, which is why they said, oh, human beings are born into sin, okay, or sin. And when you say sin, it's in that moon god, ancient Mesopotamian moon god, who is called Zuin. And his color is none other than red. And I said, in order for you to get out of this Babylon reality that is called the Zuin world, all right, you have to reestablish that divine connection, which is divine, literally, and that divine literally gives you the color green when you think of a vine, okay? You have to connect from Zuin out of here to Zion, which means you have to go from the root and use that light caduceus, because there are 2 deuces, all right, or 2 dues, or deuces, or deos, okay? Ka is saying a spirit, all right, and deuces is saying literally 2, deuce or deuce, right? And then you have deo, okay? So 2 spirits or 2 gods that you can listen to in order to climb up whatever ladder they were going to give you to climb up. But it took more energy, as I broke down in How to Love Again, it took more energy to get up the stairs than it did to fall down the stairs. All right? It took more energy for you to climb up to the higher planes than it did for you to fall into the lower planes. So as long as you held on to that rope, what is that? Al-Quran chapter 3, verse 103. Hold fast. And we fasted all year last year. Hold fast to the rope, that's what they literally said, of Allah. All right, all together, meaning do it collectively when you fast. Listen to what I'm telling you by tone. All right, and see to it that you are not divided. Okay, and they told you that you were saved at one point in time. When all of you were on the brink of fire, things happened. People came through to intervene to help you, all right, so that you wouldn't fall. And they highlighted the rope. Okay, as a matter of fact, it's the last word that was uttered. Okay, the last piece of the revelation that was given. Hold fast, okay, to the rope all together, the rope of God. If you didn't know, if you didn't like Allah, look, I hope one day y'all get over that because you need to. All right, God, Allah. Okay, as a matter of fact, God couldn't have been the name. You have to know better than that. So you say Yahweh, whatever you need to say, divine. Hold fast to the rope of it. Connect back to that old time way of life, okay, or that old deen or ancient deen, the way of life that said order, which brought you back around to Tao. You with me? So in the book How to Love Again, I gave the same sciences that showed up in the movie They Cloned Tyrone. All right, where they asked, what do you do when you want to get out of Babylon? They said, what? They showed the scene of a church called Mount Zion. I put it in my book, y'all. Then they made it a movie. All right? The church of Mount Zion. Okay? And who was showing the way? A man called Asa. All right? Asa. Okay? When you say Jesus, but it's the same name. Asa. And Imam Asa is Dr. Malachi York. Go look it up. Imamisa. Imam Asa. Okay? The one who first brought forth the green light as Al-Qadir with us. All right? Before this day and time. So now all you have is a reminder. I told you already I'm a reminder. When I wrote the rehab book, I'm explaining these things, reminder. I got a book called Out of the Darkness, a reminder. It's not that I created the concepts, okay? It's that I took the con out of it and said, you don't got to accept it anymore. And said, come out of that darkness. I showed you how to do this, okay? So we go back to that reality of elitehood, all right? And why people are saying, yo, keep these people in the dark. Let us continue to be the ones who hold blackness above their head and we keep the light for ourselves. Even Masonry taught us that. They said, you're never supposed to reveal. I said, bullshit. What you talking about? We never supposed to reveal? Look at me. All right. So they said, you got to get an oath. He said, yo, repeat after me. Oh, yeah, I'm going to repeat after it. I'm going to say, when you standing here, I'm going to say the shit. But when you gone, it's bullshit. What you talking about? The whole book that I'm holding, all right, was speaking about Revelation. It got a whole chapter called Revelation. What are you talking about? The mystery of God had to be complete and revealed. This whole shit, apocalypse, means take the lid off. So I'm going to hold this shit as a lid this whole fucking time and not do this. The lid has to come off. What are you talking about? We gotta, all right, whatever. That's why they try to get upset with me. They say, yo, you're breaking the obi. You're breaking the oath. This is all we have is our word. I say, yo, my oath is to the Most High and the Most High alone. What are you talking about? My oath is not to man. I don't give a fuck what them niggas said. What are you talking about? My whole thing was to go in there, get the shit that they had in there, and bring that shit back. What? Now, you can't take it. I have it. You know what I mean? That's why they can only kick it. They know they can't take it. Once you gain access to them sacreds behind them large walls, bro, you come out, yeah, you did die. Because you can't be the same person. Because your whole world is built off of those Masonic principles. Your whole literal world, down to the right angle, all right, or that cornerstone, all right? Your whole process in your Christianity religion is speaking about the same thing that the Masons talking about. Your whole process in the religion of Islam is speaking about the same thing the Masons talking about. Masonry is the oldest foundation that you have, or the oldest order that you have, because Masonry was about out of darkness into light. You called it different things. You called it the Essenes. You called it the Masons the Essenes at one point in time. You called them the Magi at one point in time. You called them, who was it? Was it wise men? It's the same thing, right? You called it the people who came in the order of Melchizedek at one point in time. You called them a lot of things. You called the Ascended Masters Buddhas, which mean people who were awakened, or Bodhis, who were people who were messengers. All right, you call people different things. All right, Bodhi and angel is the same word if you speak about a translation. All right, or Buddha is an angel, which is why the Buddhists don't call Buddha God. Anybody who walked behind Buddha and study his teachings, they know he was never God. When people say the Hindu God, Buddha, wrong. All you gotta do is talk to them for 5 seconds. They'll tell you that's not God. They never said that he was God. They said he was an extraordinary man. An example, which sounds familiar to me. You know what I'm saying? But then what wound up happening? They said Jesus is God. And he was like, yo, I'm not the Father. Only the Father is good. I pray to my Father. I go back to my Father. And they still didn't get it. They said, no, he's God. He would say, yo, why you... Listen, my name is Jesus. When you look at the Father, you see me. Yeah, when you look at me, you see my dad. What are you talking about? When I look at y'all, I see y'all mama and dad. What are you saying? Yeah, I ain't a father one. Yeah, me and my mama is one. It seems like it should be so clear, but it's not clear. Okay, and then they brag on his death, which doesn't make sense to me. They say, oh, Jesus died for us. But you don't think that when they said that it was possible that he could have evaded that death, that would have been more of a representation of what the power, or presentation of what the power of the Most High would have been, how the fuck you gonna kill God for even a second? What would happen if God died for 1 second? Like, bro, what the hell? They telling you a story, making you think that it's all about the blood. It's all about somebody's blood. No, if you're saying blood, you're saying genes. So then we having a whole different conversation scientifically, which is why they say in the book of Amos, all right, in the book of Amos chapter 9, they were explaining about these beings who were extraterrestrials coming back to this place as the gods of the Elohim, all right, and sifting through the nations like you do with a comb to find out or find or retrieve the chosen ones. So all this, I'm chosen, you're electrified, that wouldn't have mattered because they said that it was going to come back and sift and find them anyway. You would have had to be that or not be that by that time. You with me? So the key thing for people to remember is a lot of these religious orders were based off of the same principles, all right, or all of these religious orders, if it's an order, were based off of the same principles that Masonry was based off of, okay, which was preparing people for that war. So remember, we said Michael and his angels, okay, fought the dragon and his angels. We've explained that the Drake is the dragon. I explained that when he was saying to Aubrey, okay, you literally got the Albrick, okay, was saying to the ruler of the elves, and an elf is a fallen angel. And I explained the whole breakdown of why Drake came out with an album called, what? To All the Dogs. The dogs, not the guys. And if you know, the dogs were the ones who were said to carry the jinn. If you come from that school, if you don't, I'm telling you, the dogs were the ones who carried the jinn. We didn't do dogs. Dogs were not allowed in the home. They just weren't. Now, a cat might have been allowed, okay, because they were closer to the frequency. They were more silent. You know what I'm saying? They would clean themselves. It's all about frequency. But them loud-ass, barking-ass beasts were not allowed in our home. Ain't no such thing as they getting in our bed, licking us in our face, and other. That was not our thing, okay? But somehow it became man's best friend. Well, I wasn't in the order of man then. With me, I was in the order of the Sphinx and beyond. And I walked through the paws of the Sphinx. And I accessed a ninth chamber. There was no reason for me to play around with Anubis and them. You know what I'm saying? But for the ones who was up under that dark order, they did. You know what I mean? Because that's all the sacreds they had. But all of that was set up anyway. So the dog became man's best friend. And there was a dog that was called Harvey, all right, when there was a being called Sam Carr. And we spoke about Sam earlier. And never forget, Sam is Samael, all right? When you say Uncle Sam, you say Uncle Samael, all right? An adopted uncle of yours. And he walked into your life a long time ago before you even realized. I'm speaking about your bloodline, okay? And started to mix in and all kinds of things, a whole different conversation. All right, but Samael poisoned the bloodline. Samael poisoned the water. You go look up what Samael means. It means venom or poison. All right, so when you look at the venom whole character and everything about how they able to get into the genes and affect how they feel and all the Eddie Brock. Remember the Eddie Brock character? He was eating all kind of stuff he wouldn't have been eating and doing all kind of stuff he wouldn't have been doing. It's a parasite. Something that latched onto you that people been trying to baptize away. People have been trying to scream away and shout away. People been trying to exorcise away for thousands of years. And it seemed like we can't get that spirit up out of human beings that just wants to go against the order. All the warnings have been given, but it seems like they still want to go against the order, which is confusing to us. But the point is, when you think about these beings like Sam, all right, or Zazilla, and the rest of these other beings, they were the ones who were associated with these dark orders, all right? So that's the dragon. So you got the elf ruler, all right? And that, remember I told you about that Sam being, the whole Sam breakdown, where they said it was a being called Sam Carr, who was telling David Berkowitz, and I tell you, look, Berkowitz is found on Drake album cover because he put the letters BW on there. And you got to tell me what BW mean, right? BW is Berkowitz. And the word Berko is saying berserk. Go look it up, or in a frenzy, all right? So you say Berko berserk. And wits is saying your brain. So when your brain is in a frenzy or you go berserk, all right, which is what this nigga David Berkowitz did, he went crazy and he killed 6 people. 6 people. All right. He was also called the 44 caliber. And I showed you that Drake was wearing a shirt that had the number 44 on it in the video that he did with J. Cole, the song that he did with J. Cole that was first person shooter. All right. And they were playing chess. Okay, and J. Cole had a line in there that was like something about niggas talking about they want office. They must be talking about the corner, something like that, or corner office or something like that. Y'all remember my song God Did? And my song God Did, I said, if I'm in office, all right, I came for bodies, give me the corner one. You know They opened up the music video with niggas in the corner office and J. Cole working with the Dragon. Remember in the Survive song, I said, I wonder why J. Cole didn't want to sign a nigga. I was 18. I met J. Cole on my 18th birthday, 1 + 8, 9. And we had a whole conversation about this very day where he was asking me, saying, how you going to get your generation to listen to what you're saying? I said, they listen to me when I talk. I said, and if they listen to me when I talk, then all I have to do is take that same care of being able to have a conversation with somebody. You can't talk to somebody if you're talking over them. You can't talk to somebody if you're talking over them. Meaning you trying to say words that go beyond what they understand. Or meaning you trying to, you know what I'm saying, put the lingos in. No, you can talk to somebody to be able to have a voice that works on sound of many waters. Meaning we can hit many octaves, many different nations can come around and sit when we talk. It's just what it is. I don't know how it's how they gave it to us. All right, we're multilingual. We speak with many tongues. So somebody hearing it this way, somebody hearing it that way, but we hitting all the octaves. Okay? I said if people listen to me when I talk, all I got to do is take that science and put it into the music. So if I care enough to know the lingo of who I'm speaking to, or be able to project and articulate as an orator, all right, to be able to reach their minds so that I'm not just speaking. What I'm saying is it's charged with the care. It's charged with the nigga. I need you to get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's charged with that. If I'm doing that with speaking to them, and I got all these people who are in Carver High School who were listening to me and learning all these sciences, and we are young guys, okay, well then cool. All I got to do is do the same thing with the music. So I'm going to make music that sound like what they used to. But they're going to listen to the music because it sounds like what they used to. But then they're going to come back and listen to it years later after they realize where I've been taking them and where I've been walking them, which is toward the true light. And they're going to hear my songs a whole different way. And that happened. It became exactly what I said. I said, as a matter of fact, all y'all people who claiming that you're doing conscious and real music and spiritual music, don't ever drop that because consciousness is going to be back in. Real shit is going to become trendy again. I had an interview called Prison to Power, okay, with a brother named Kent Osborne. I was 19 years old. And I said in that interview, I said, I'm going to make being woke a trend. I said, I'm going to make wokeness and positivity trendy. I said, I'm going to make people feel like because I'm smart, it's some shit to be. I said, I'm going to make people see my intelligence as something to want to be. You understand? And now look around. Now everybody is going after it. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. You with me? So because that true light is where I was bringing them to, right, then they were able to see the whole picture. And now you got brothers out here who y'all don't even know. We put them there. But it's fine because all this is going to come around full circle. And they made it. I'm proud of them. I can see them. You with me? And they shining in their own way and finding a way to get more people to come over where we at. And we got a lot more to do in that regard. But the point is, J. Cole knew me or met me at 18. He was one of the ones I had a conversation with about going to college and everything because I couldn't go. I had a lot of shit going on. And I had to take care of business. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. But I remember after we had that conversation, we sat there for 25 minutes. I did the lyrics for him, rap for him, woo. Right? That's when I met J.I.D., the rest of them niggas. Right? Who was there when he wasn't there. At one of them houses over there by Carver. They was out in the cut somewhere. I realized after that conversation we had, J. Cole switched up in his direction of the music. He started coming out with songs like Medicate. No, it was Meditate. All right, I seen him on BET performing, had all the people with all white. Right? Because we had a long conversation and everything he was saying, I'm like, I was talking to him about that. Right? So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he gonna come around full circle and be a part of this shit that we doing. It never happened. It never happened. It just stayed what it is. It's rap. It's just fucking hip-hop. Same reason why people are thinking that Kendrick Lamar was going to be able to do something. Kendrick Lamar said in the music, he was like, I'm not your leader. I don't know what y'all think this is, nigga. You ain't. People still trying to figure out where did Kendrick Lamar go? With all of that prowess, all right, with all of that ability, why does it seem like the ones who are the most capable in hip-hop to do something with hip-hop did nothing with it? Except do music. Now you're going to have fans. You're going to have people that this is what it is. Okay, cool. We can have a hip-hop conversation. I'm a real hip-hopper. We can have hip-hop conversations. But they didn't do anything with the movement itself. Hip-hop is not just some brand. It's not just some business that you make money off of. Hip-hop was a movement from the beginning. You walked a certain way. The reason why we called you a hip-hopper is because you literally walked with such an umph in you that your hip-hop. When niggas say, who the fuck are these hip-hoppers? And nigga, you find out who the fuck we are. Fight the power. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And niggas had to find out. But then they threw in niggas like MC Hammer. They said, can't touch it. That's not us. That's not what we were saying. We wasn't doing that. We don't know where these niggas come from. You know what I'm saying? Can't touch this. That's why Tupac was like, yo, why the fuck is we calling this hip-hop? You can't say that about MC Hammer. I can say what the fuck I want to say. You know what I mean? Any of these people that came through, then Soulja Boy. Why does Soulja Boy need to tell us anything? So what can Soulja Boy tell us now? Why do we need to, girl, shake that lappy tappy, that lappy tappy? And I was the only one walking around saying, this is stupid. You know what I mean? You had all my peers, I'm 6, 7 years old. They're like, come on, baby, shoulder lean. It was Omari, and nobody called me Faise. Shoulder lean to the shoulder. I'm like, why would I do that? Well, let me know why I need to do the shoulder lean. Just let me know what is the purpose of this. I was a child who I started rapping knowing that we could do something with this shit. So every time a dancey dance song came out that meant nothing, I was confused. I was like, why are these the songs that people is fucking playing? It meant nothing. Whoever the Yin Yang Twins is, there's some shit y'all calling culture. All right, when I hear music and motherfuckers were talking about selling dope, I used to want to leave the whole environment. And we would go to these, listen, they used to have little school dances and shit. When I was in school, I'm 5th grade, you had the stanky leg, what's that, stanky leg? I don't know how the fuck the shit even went. You know what I'm saying? But the stanky leg song, do the stanky leg. And like, come on. I'm like, why? Why do you understand what they telling me to do? They telling me to do the stanky leg. My leg don't stink. I'm trying to figure out why do I got to do it. If your leg stink, that's you. I'm not trying to judge you. Everybody's situation is, my leg doesn't actually stink. I'm looking, my shit is good. Niggas was walking around looking retarded. Why me beef it up? I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Why do I got to watch you? No, I don't want to see this bullshit. Get me out of this. I'm not a part of this delusion. You with me? So this was what people was rooting for. So I never got with that program. You with me? Hip-hop was never supposed to allow that shit because it was a movement. It was a movement. Say what you want. These same bitch-ass niggas who are elders now, who be just sitting on podcasts talking about every new thing that happened every 3 days. And y'all know what I'm talking about. These niggas who done turned on niggas who done put them on just so they can have a podcast opportunity, just to run their mouth every fucking day about absolutely shit. You understand? Them same niggas talking about some hip-hop was supposed to evolve. Please explain to me when evolution meant go backwards. Please explain to me when we say evolve, okay, that means, okay, you talking about evolve from the message, right? You was evolving from that, right? Or you were evolving from fight the power. Or you were evolving from, you headed from self-destruction. You headed for self-destruction. Okay, that's evolution, right? We wasn't supposed to allow NWA. We weren't ever supposed to support them. Only NWA shit that was supposed to be supported was fighting the oppressors, right? When you said fuck the police, coming straight from the underground, a young nigga got it bad because I'm brown, okay, let that through. Other than that, all that kill a nigga and shoot each other, we were never supposed to allow that. We wasn't supposed to allow a lot of shit, but we allowed it. Thug life should never took off how it took off. We should have regulated that. That's why Pac said, listen to what we saying. He said, and listen to what I'm saying. He said, and hold us accountable. Right? We were supposed to regulate hip-hop, but we didn't regulate it. Niggas wanted gangster music, so niggas were making gangster music. Because niggas wanted to make their money, wanted to sell their records. You know what I'm saying? So now we in this point in time where now it's like Faise One ain't really saying nothing different that the elders didn't say when they was trying to figure out what we was up to. You know what I mean? Like, what is it that we doing? So they could have came and talked to us and figured out what the disgruntledness was happening, and then we could have worked together and bridged it. But because it didn't happen, I'm saying that whole music industry had to go. That whole drill shit, all that shit had to go. And anybody who's a real one, you know I wasn't saying no bullshit. You know I wasn't coming from no hating place. Anybody who listened to that Letter to the Baby, you know that wasn't no hating record. You just know. Anybody. I don't listen, if I get in a ride and I play that Letter to the Baby, it's not a single person here that didn't nod. Niggas who probably don't even know who Baby was, they head nodded because they can hear. You know what I mean? The Letter to Sexy Red, you know that's not a diss. The Letter to Farrakhan, you know that's not a diss. All right? And you know, if you've been walking, that I sent you to where you were going to be able to pinpoint why these letters were going to come. Because I had a mixtape when I was 13 years old that I had put out when I think I put it on SoundCloud when I was like 15. All right? Somewhere around the time. Actually, it was 15 that I made the mixtape. Yep. I put it out when I was 15 on SoundCloud. You could be able to find it right now. It was called Letters from a Watcher. Letters from a Watcher. Go look it up. All right? And it had 13 songs on it. So I've been writing letters. You go look up Letters from a Watcher and you will see what the whole shit was about. I said I'm writing letters about what I see while I'm here in this earth realm with you. Okay? So when I wrote a letter to Lil Baby, first of all, I observed the fact that he went off grid. After that shit came out, remember Said and them was like, yo, how much you want for a show? We trying to book you ASAP. Y'all remember how them niggas did all that shit? And I posted that up and we went big about that. And they realized, oh, he ain't finna be quiet. And they've been telling me to be quiet since 2018 when I called the whole Atlantis out. And when I say Atlantis, it's for a reason. And you will understand what I am or who I am when I'm saying Atlantis. You understand? And this is the music mecca of the world. The heartbeat of the world when it comes to music now. Listen to what I'm telling you, because it's the same conversation over and over again. Right? Remember they were doing all that bullshit. Then LeBaby disappeared. Blacked out the page. And he heard me. Listen, I'm telling y'all. Listen to what I'm telling you. He heard me. And he heard me on a soul level. He heard me on the soul level. A level that, as an artist, you can't shake it. You can't get rid of it. They can try to kick it to y'all. But this artist shit is nothing to play with. With art, you can make a song that changes the whole world. One song can change the state or the condition of a whole world. Are you with me? Artists are magicians. We grab this pen and we get to writing and it becomes what we say. Are you with me? So if you don't have, which they didn't, what is referred to as that psychic self-defense setup, okay, where me is like, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Nobody niggas like whoever the bald head ass nigga Sanchez was, Bro Sanchez, Bro Sanchez said he gonna dispose you. I said, just make sure he spell my name. Last time he put the F1. Make sure he don't do that this time. Make sure he spell the shit all the way out. If you're gonna expose me and help me get promo, well then make sure that people know where the fuck to come to. Why the fuck you put F1? It's like you trying to do a double whammy. That's not fair. You got to do it the right way if you're gonna expose me. You understand? I don't give a fuck what nobody say. There is nobody who can expose me. You might see me go onto the Young Elder show and say Faise One exposed. That's the only one who could expose me. Because what would you expose? What are you going to expose? I am me. I am going to reflect truth at all times. It's who I am. You understand? So if you don't have that psychic self-defense already set up, when somebody put out a song and it's mentioning you and it's bringing you forth, remember I told you, we ain't just calling them out. We're calling them forth. It's a difference. All right? So you might see the call them out, but you know the science behind it when I tell you, no, we calling them forth. They got to respond. Right? And they're not going to respond how you think they're going to respond. That's why he's saying in the song, he said what? He trying to diss me to blow up, I peep it. I can't respond, I just go at your people. He can't respond. But why can't you respond? Because you've been advised. Your spiritual advisors telling you not to respond. The people at your label telling you not to respond. I don't have nobody who could tell me that. I don't have a single person who could tell me, don't write a letter to Farrakhan. There is nobody over me. Short of the Most High himself. And if the Most High don't want me to touch that pen, my pen won't move. Because it's the soul that drives that pen. If it ain't supposed to stream through how it stream through, when you listen to Letter to Sexy Red, if you've never heard a spiritual song before, go listen to Letter to Sexy Red. It's spiritual. And for me to be able to still cuss and the shit still be spiritual, right? But people say, I don't know. Some people's confused in the comments. They're like, I don't know how to feel. He's cussing, but you don't got to feel. You just got to listen. You got to listen. That's why I said in the Dungeon Cry song, I said what? For all you Christian rappers, this shit is war. This is not a trend. I said, you scared to cuss. No doubt in my mind that you scared to die, my friend. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you scared to say that you scared to drop an F-bomb. Okay, cool. You're scared to die. You're afraid of death. You be the same one who say, show me who it is. Tell me who it is so I can kill him. You be the same one when we say, yo, one of you amongst us is going to try to betray us. Right? You say, surely you don't mean me, my Lord. Yeah, we mean every one of you who opens your mouth to say, surely you don't mean me. That's what we meant. It wasn't just Judas who we was talking about. You're afraid to die. You understand? Because as soon as they came to Peter and said, yo, hold on, watch out. Ain't you the nigga? Ain't you, I know you. You was with the nigga who we about to crucify. Bro, I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know the man. He said that shit 3 times. They gave the man 2 times to correct his shit. They asked the nigga again, it was different groups of people asking him. And on the 3rd time, it never dawned on him that Jesus already told us that he was going to do that shit. You with me? And he denied him. Just like he said. So it's the people that's like that saying that they wouldn't do that shit. They'll be the first ones who turn away from you. They'll be the first ones who would betray you. So if you asking yourself, am I speaking about? Yeah, we're speaking about you. You with me? I don't have anybody that I have to respond to. I don't have anybody who can tell me, don't put this out. I don't have anybody listen, everybody who walking with me is already walking with me. And if you near enough to me to be able to see that green light, and you know it ain't some shit that's just coming off this light bulb, okay, people already know, bro, Don't tell that man no, because that's going to make him do it. Don't tell him he can't do it. That's going to make him want to do the shit more. Because something in you told him not to do it. Go listen to these songs. They spiritual songs. So how does it, it's like this. People say, yo, you're clout chasing. You're trying to go for clout. Right? I said, that's the fucking point. You only made clout chasing negative because just like I told y'all about those elites who don't want you to come up there with them or surpass them. That's another thing. You surpass these so-called elites if you actually put your good foot forward. All right? They want you to think clout is a negative thing. They want you to think attention is a negative thing. But they're clout chasing every time they put out a fucking... Do they just drop music without promo? No. You know what I mean? Let me tell you how clout chasing could work. I could be trying to promote my album, and I could stage getting arrested, and I could be out the next day, and I could cause a whole uproar about an album nobody even know I put out. But now everybody know I put out. I'm just throwing it out there that this is what the fuck everybody does. So when I do it, their problem is they're trying to say it's clout because they don't want it to work. They don't want it to work. But it's working. And people are hearing. And a lot of people saying the same thing. Say, why didn't we know you were here? Why am I just finding out about this person? Let me tell you why. Because they put up a black wall. Right? Or a black ball. And they didn't want anybody to see what was behind it. And I've been swinging on it. I used to say when I was young, I said, I don't give a fuck if it's bulletproof glass. If you punch on it long enough, it's going to start cracking. And the moment it start cracking, all right, your punch is going to start hitting harder, and next thing you know, you broke through. They didn't want it to happen, y'all, because they know what I'm going to give people is like, I don't want you to follow me. I say walk with me. You don't got to follow and believe nothing. I say walk with me. If you want to support me, that's fine. You support me. I appreciate you. We're going somewhere until I can't go anymore. That's what this is. So, yeah, it is clout chasing. If you want to call it that, I don't. Do you see it yet? It's not going to click for them. I don't give a fuck what you call it. It's going to work. And what you think is working now, you ain't seen shit. I can go viral tomorrow. I keep explaining. Don't you understand? The minds of men are simple. You know what I'm saying? I can go viral tomorrow. I can get on here tomorrow and be like, fuck young boy. I can knock on the live. I can make a video and act like I'm so upset. Let me tell you how it can work. I told people how this can work, right? I don't know young boy. I can get on here tomorrow and have my clothes ripped. You know what I'm saying? Have a makeup artist, put the little blood scratcher. You know what I mean? My hair messy, whatever the fuck. I can be limping and shit. You know what I mean? I can be recording myself. Say, y'all niggas did that. Y'all did that. Y'all did that. Y'all took my chain. Y'all took my chain. Y'all took, fuck K-Trade. Fuck young boy. I will be on the Shade Room tomorrow. And then y'all gonna come on here. It's gonna be 3,000 people on here, right? And I'm gonna be on here. No, the makeup gonna be wiped off. Hair nicely plaited. Nice soup on it. And I'm gonna be explaining the science that you didn't know you needed to know. And I'm gonna be letting you know what these elite are doing. You say, nigga be like, what the fuck? I thought it was fuck young boy. Oh no, that was the ticket. That was for you to get here. I didn't know you had one. Let me get one of those. Yeah, that's for everybody to come. And now that you're here, let me tell you what this is about. Let me tell you what they've been hiding. Let me tell you what they're planning. Let me show you what to look out for. Let me give you the keys and the secrets. And if you've been listening to what I'm talking, some of y'all realize I'll say something that I already said before. If you ain't picked up on it yet. And you got to realize what I'm doing when I say it. Right? Or what I'm showing when I say it. Or you might realize I'll speak about an event and I'll speak around the event. And then the event blow up. And then I'll show you why I spoke around the event. But you're picking up on it either way. Even if you don't know it, when I speak, your subconscious knows who I am. When I speak, your unconscious you knows what's happening. So if you know it, let me tell you, those other so-called elite who are referred to as stars of your planet, okay, these guys who have been idolized for far too long, they know the voice. And they want people to turn away. But they can't make it happen. That's why I tell you, who can go against God? You with me? I said, we go viral tomorrow. I might do a poll. Be like, yo, on my story, say, do y'all want to go viral today? Yeah, who can stop me? That's the question. Who gonna stop it? You understand? I've already been approved by the only approval that matters. I've already been appointed by the only appointing that matters. I've already been anointed by the only anointing that matters. Do your worst, and I'll do my best. You feel what I'm saying? So Michael won, y'all. Michael won album of the year. I told you the dragon does not prevail. And it might have seemed like there was a delay in that message coming forth, but Michael won. All right? And even though Casanat was screaming at the screen and nobody had the answer for him, when he said, who decided this motherfucker? Somebody should have been on there and said, a guy who was called Faise One of Atlanta. They don't call him such and such of such and such anymore. All right? They call him Faise One of Atlanta. And so Faise One of Atlanta said something and it happened. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Michael won. Just like I said, Michael would. And it was already written that Michael wins. So Casanat. Let's deal with Casanat for a second. Because I always thought the name was interesting to begin with. But I remember the shit that took place with JT from the City Girls, Casanat, and some 10-year-old boy, I think it was her nephew. And they went to this event, I think it was Rolling Loud, and they had strippers all around the 10-year-old boy, right? And he was supposed to be teaching them how to throw the money and stuff like that. Yeah, Casanat there, some other niggas, some other weirdos. Because anybody who allowed that shit, you got to be a weirdo. Nothing clicked in nobody's mind and said, yo, this 10-year-old shouldn't even be right here around this. And JT saw how people were responding to it, and she posted another slide on her story and was like, I made sure they gave my nephew 50 feet. JT, you made sure you told a bold-faced lie. Because all them pictures and images would have shown that it was a dancer literally 1 foot away from your nephew, bent over, and y'all was showing him how to throw the money on her. And they were trying to argue this. They said it's not a strip club, it's Rolling Loud. I don't give a fuck if them niggas was walking up the hill politely. Whatever they was doing, whatever action came with whatever the fuck they was doing that action with, that child should never have been there if there were strippers there. So all of a sudden people want to forget what the fuck strippers is for. Strippers are sexual adult entertainment. They've always been. If you're trying to switch it, you're the weirdo. If you're trying to switch it, something's wrong with you. If you're trying to switch it, you're probably a part of the group of people who thought when Boosie said that he allowed for his 12-year-old son to be statutorily raped by whoever that prostitute was that he paid to come and perform oral sex on his son, you probably thought that was okay. You probably let niggas as 12-year-old have girls over, do all kind of shit in your communities. And that's the fucking problem. That's the problem. So I remember Casanat being there. I said, damn, that shit is weird as fuck. Right? I look into the Casanat breakdown. So the Casanat name itself, the word Ka was said C, S-E-A, right? And the word Sanat is like the word Senate, okay? You go look up, this word Sanat is like Senate. And it also was Senex. And Senex was saying, like if you say Senex in, what you call it? What's the shit they used to have, the lingo? What's the lingo, y'all, they had with the fucking, when they say finna or dinner, Guapanese, I think what the nigga was calling it, right? When you saying it like that, Senex, you saying sex. But in all actuality, the Senex is saying an old man or old being or olden, all right? So the C being Kai and Sanat being the old man was something that was referred to as Leviathan, okay, or Leviathan. Now, I just watched this movie called Lift. I watched it less than a week ago, okay? Kevin Hart came out with a movie called Lift. I didn't know why I was supposed to watch the shit. I thought it was going to be cheesy. I mean, I wasn't into shit. But I still went to go look at it. The first thing that stood out to me was the lift word itself, but the fact that the I and the F inside of the lift word had a plane in it. Right? Let me tell you, when I'm teaching y'all this and these explosions are happening genetically for you and these memories are coming and you having these eureka moments, meaning you're finding the gold, okay, it's very important. All right? You're going to learn how to do this yourself. Because a lot of y'all are doing it. As a matter of fact, some of these things I came on here to speak about, some of y'all brought to my attention. Some people literally sent it to my DM and say, yo, you heard about this? Or you seen this? Or look at this? Or pay attention to that. Y'all are starting to do it yourselves, making the connections. That's what it's about. All right? So I looked at this. I'm telling you the whole breakdown. I'm like, okay, lift with the plane in the center. All right? If I'm saying the word plane and the word if, all right, together, because that's where the plane was over, the IF. What is the word plaintiff? Listen, I want to see, can y'all catch on? Plaintiff. The word if is in the center of the L and the T, which LT is the abbreviation of the word lieutenant. Okay? And if you go look up the word lieutenant and you find the etymology of that word, you'll find that lieutenant meant placeholder, which means that when I'm looking at this, that the L and the T are just placeholders. The I and the F is the actual sign or the actual message that's being conveyed in code. All right? So the word plaintiff is plaintiff. And the word plaintiff was saying an accuser. Okay? In the law. The one who was bringing the accusations. That's the plaintiff. All right? So the accuser is none other than Iblis. All right? Or Shaitan. The actual accuser. They spoke about it in the book of Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. Okay? So look at what I'm telling you. You got the name of the movie. It's called Lift. Some people ain't going to catch it yet, so you're going to realize how deep this shit get. The name of the movie is called Lift. Remember, we still breaking down Cosmological. And how he showed up and was screaming at the screen saying, who decided this motherfucker? Who decided that Michael wins? Who dares? He said, over her loss, over Metro Boomin. Who says who? He had a hat on. And that hat that he had on had an angel on it. Go look at it. All right, write a note down. Go look at that shit. The hat that Cosmonaut had on had an angel on it. Remember, Michael is the angel. Mikael. And on the cover of the Michael album, all right, for Killer Mike, there was the halo over Michael. All right? So he was wearing what? The hat that had angel on it. Okay? Or the angel on it for Michael. But he also had on a shirt. And his shirt said, beware of the money man. And the on it. Everything I'm telling you, go look at it. You say, damn, why is this? Right? I'm telling you why. It has to him. He didn't have to say shit, but he did. He didn't have to say, who decided this? But he did. It all lined up exactly as it's supposed to. All right? Not only did he have on a shirt that said, beware the money man, which if you don't know who the money man is, the money man in the scripture is called Mammon. Mammon. And we were telling you, you cannot serve two masters. All right? Because you will grow to love one and hate the other. You can't serve God and Mammon. But why do they use that word Mammon? Because Mammon was saying riches or wealth or money. All right? So that money man is Mammon. And if it doesn't make sense to you, well, then you should be asking yourself, why the fuck was there an upside down cross on it? Because that's the one who goes against God. You can't serve both of them. You understand? So watch this. He had on some shorts with the upside down, what was it? SP5DER. Okay? Which is spider with the 5 in the center. All right? If you got the Out of the Darkness book, you know that I explained to you that Trouble, who was a rapper, was killed by a man called Ja Michael. Can you make this up? You really can't. You could try. Ja Michael. Ja Michael killed Trouble. And Trouble's name was Mariel, okay, Simonte Or. And Mariel Simonte Or was literally saying somebody who was a star of the sea, Simonte, sea monster, okay, who came up under the pale light or the dark light, or O-R-R. Go look up everything I'm telling you and ask yourself, why was the man's name Ja Michael when Ja means God and Michael means like the angel, one who is like God? Okay? You have to realize what I'm teaching you how to do. A lot of people claim that they can code break, but you got to be able to see through the veil. Names, people, events, all of this happens within streams of coding. And once you learn how to decode them, you know why all of these things show up in your life. And in your life, which is all of your lives, are connected together through this web. All right? And I already told you who's over that web. The spider. All right? And that same spider wanted the web to be what trapped you. But that's why the hidden secret of Firefox shows up in the movie Knowing. Because Firefox was repeating what the book of Peter was saying, that it wouldn't be the water. Listen to what I'm telling you now, because it's going to mean something. That destroyed this world this time. It'll be fire. So that Firefox emblem showed a fox of fire going around the world. What will happen if you put fire to a web? It incinerates it and alleviates the issue that comes with being trapped. Okay? Freeing the minds of the people. That means you're no longer believing. Now you're knowing. Which means you will know the truth. And the truth will make you free. They injected the word Set there so that Set could be in your mind. Because Set is the one who was called Bab. Go look it up. And Babylon is saying Set's pylon, or the gate of God, Babylon. And that God is none other than Set. And what happens when the sun sets? It becomes dark. And that fire is not blazing, apparently, to you. Are you with me? Which is why the knowing was all about the sun. Y'all with me? So he had on some shorts that said Spider with the 5 on there. The pentagram. Okay? He had on the shirt that said beware of the money man. He don't even know what the fuck he doing because he can't know. All right? Remember, pawns and the people who's playing the games, 2 different people. I'm not even on the board. You can't say, Faise, you a king on the board. I'm not on the board. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing the game. These niggas sit on the other side of me. You know what I'm saying? The actual ones who they call the Illuminati, the Bilderbergs, whatever the fuck you want to call them, they sit on the other side of what we on. We playing them. These other pawns and other stuff, that they don't even know what they're there for. They just get moved around. That's why when you see me post pictures and images, and you see the white, black, white, black, white, black, white squares, and you see these pawns up underneath it, I'm telling you that who I'm speaking about is a pawn. All right, I'm telling you that these are not the adepts. The same reason why I can tell you, Travis Scott didn't have nothing to do with what took place at that concert. He's nowhere up there in rank. If anybody, it would have been the Kardashian family. They the witches. Travis Scott, not even a warlock. I mean, meaning he never even reached the level of witchery or to be a witch, to become a warlock. He never reached that. You know what I'm saying? So he was not the one who was behind any of that stuff. The devils were actually in the crowd. It wasn't Travis Scott. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. You know what I'm saying? That shit was above his head. They had the whole NRG energy event set up with the monster energy, all that shit. He didn't have nothing to do with that. He was just a fucking pawn. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know the difference. So watch this. Cosmological shows up with the shorts on that say Spider. The shirt say beware the money man or the mammon. All right. And a hat that's an angel. Okay. Which is the same conversation. And he's talking about the Michael album, which is speaking about an angel. All right. So when you go back to read Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 27, all right, they were saying in that day, okay, or that specific time period, the Lord, okay, was going to come with something. I got a song on my album called Sore Loser, all right, Michael album called Sore Loser. They said the Lord was going to come with that sword, all right, and have a strong sword with him. And they said that they was going to pierce and attack Leviathan. Go read the book of Isaiah 27:1 so you can get the shit verbatim. All right, but they said they were going to attack Leviathan. And that Leviathan was the dragon of the sea. One of the translations for Leviathan is what? Dragon. Stay with me now, because we still on that breakdown. So the Lift movie, okay, this is called 360 teaching if you don't know. We go all around, but it's going to bring you right back to the circle or the cycle completed. Okay, circumambulation is what we taught in the order. All right, in the movie Lift, there was a group of terrorists. If you go look up the whole plot and everything, I watched the shit all the way through. But there was a group of terrorists, and those terrorists used floods. All right, that was their whole thing. They was able to flood cities. Sound familiar? And they were called Leviathan. So if you were to look at the word lift, L-I-F-T, all right, because we already found the accuser or iblis in the word lift. So we already know who they're referring to with the lift, all right? So you look at the L-F-T or L-I-F-T, and you take out that vowel as if you were speaking the Hebrew way, all right? You have L-F-T. When you go L-F-T, when you say lifter, then you switch that F to be a V, all right? Levita. Then you take that T and turn it to a D, Levita. Then you take that the LVD and flip it around and be DVL. You got the devil, all right? Now, you might think it means nothing, but why did they call that group of terrorists Leviathan? Dr. Malachi Z. York has a book called Leviathan 666. Stay with me. In the book Leviathan 666, Dr. Malachi Z. York was breaking down about how they was going to come out with a Luciferian movement, okay, or a one world order, all right? So Leviathan shows up as these people who are able to use the waters, which is the sea, to flood cities, okay? And Kevin Hart was in that movie. And I was explaining to people, I said, all you got to do is pay attention to the signs. All you got to do is look at what they're trying to show you. So what signs will break all this down or build this all up to show you what this will lead you to? What was Killer Mike holding when they took the picture of him for his Grammys? Because he had 3 Grammys, which means he had 3 pentagrams. Because that's what the Grammy is. Remember, it's 5 points, so 5 star. All right, pentagrams. All right. He had 3 Grammys. And those Grammys were trumpets. Who remember the 9th Hour album where I had a song called WYA, Where You At? Right? And in the breakdown of the bridge of the song, I said, why you moving like you don't hear them trumpets? Papa, shit confusing to me. Why you cruising like we ain't finna bomb shit? You must ain't tuned in, right? Trumpets. I spoke about the trumpets. I stay close. Don't walk too far away. Michael, who was called Killer Mike, was holding 3 trumpets. Now, you have to ask yourself, well, how many trumpets were there all together? There were 7 trumpets. 7 trumpets all together. What are you talking about, Faise? I'm speaking about the book of Revelation and how they said there were going to be 7 trumpets. And those 7 trumpets were mentioned, stay close, in chapters 8 through 11 of the book of Revelations. Now, I'm going to draw the Leviathan symbol for you. This class, now you got to pay attention. This ain't just somebody running their mouth talking about ascension and frequencies and higher levels. You got to really pay attention so you can catch up with people how to do this. All right? I'm going to show you the Leviathan symbol in the book of Revelation. Right? So we got the infinity sign at the bottom. Okay? Then you got a line that goes directly up. All right? With a point or an arrow. And then you have 2 lines that come before that point. I want you to think to yourself, if you turn the symbol this way, what is it saying? If you just turn it, because you could have looked at it like this. Yeah, you could have looked at it like that. But if you did like that, you will see a fish, all right, or the skeletons of a fish, and we'll get around to the skeletons soon. Right? You turn it this way, what do you see? You see 8 through 11. Revelation 8 through 11, which speaks about the wars, all right, the plagues, all these things that were going to take place when these 7 trumpets were blown. Now, people wouldn't have saw that if they didn't know what to connect the shit to. But now you know. So go and research about Leviathan. And you'll find Revelation speaking about that Leviathan. Are y'all clear on what I'm telling you? So this Leviathan or Leviathan, which the being called Anton Levy, okay, came in and he had the Leviathan Satanism. All right. So with Leviathan Satanism, he was teaching people, which this is how they do it, right? It's not that they actually believe in Satan, which is stupid because they still be saying, hey, hail Satan. All right. It's really that they let Satan represent for them actually purity, which is real crazy, right? They try to say this like the purified, all that go within shit. You got to go within to get it. That's actually Satanism. People don't know that. But it's not saying that it's evil to tell somebody to go within, but the ones who took that and ran with it and wanted to keep people inside so that they couldn't have the exoteric, and they wanted the people to grapple with or have a war with, the internal war with whether something was right or wrong, those were the Satanists, all right? Without clarifying what that war was about, which would have brought you to my aunt's teaching of jihad, okay, that the Muslims took on as their own, which is to say somebody's willpower to fight inside, the struggle that happens inside, okay, that was reflected as the holy wars outside, all right, with what's right and what's wrong. So Anton Levy, if you flip Anton Levy around, let me show you, right, because this is the name of the person who in 1966, I want you to hold on to that number, 1966. As a matter of fact, I challenge somebody to tell me, why would I highlight 66 when we're speaking about Killer Mike? Why would I highlight 66 when we're speaking about Cosmological? Why would I highlight 66 when we're talking about the Grammys? I want somebody to tell me real quick. See if you can tell me what would be the significance of the number 66. Now watch this. Anton Levy. All right? So you have Anton Levy. That's the nigga name. All right? I don't know how this shit showing up for y'all. I don't know if it's backwards or whatever the fuck, because I don't got the shit, you know what I'm saying, turned. It like it might be backwards. So just imagine that it is. You know what I mean? Boom. Which means the other shit was probably backwards too. But whatever, you know what the fuck I was saying. There's an arrow still. It's pointing somewhere. All right. So boom. Anton Levy. I'm smart. I figured it out. Cool. All right. You got Anton Levy. Right? This direction can't defeat me. Fuck. I'm an intellect. Okay? And you just write the shit like this. Leviathan. Leviathan. When you write it out, how it sounds phonetically, you literally get Leviathan. Right? Leviathan. And that's a symbol. So watch this. All you got to do is flip the letters around. Okay? And you flip that H to be an S. Okay? And you get evil Hatan or evil Satan. Evil Satan. All right? Leviathan. Anton Levy. Why was Anton Levy the founder of the whole satanic church? So when you say satanic church or synagogue of Satan, which is also in the book of Revelation, all right, here's what you're saying. Church of Satan. Synagogue of Satan. Are y'all with me? So watch this. You got Leviathan, Anton Levy, Leviathan, 1966, okay, who was the founder of the Church of the Devil. 1966, okay? Guess what number of the Grammys we're on? We're on this number. 66. Go make me a truth teller. Go make me a truth teller. Go make me a truth teller. 66. 1966, Church of Shaitan, Leviathan. Okay, Michael, or Killer Mike, okay, puts on his album cover not only him with the halo, but him with devil horns. Remember, the devil can have an angel halo as well. And dares to call it Michael. As I came out with an album called Michael last year, all right, that had me standing not in front of the 5-pointed star, but in front of the 6-pointed star. And that 6-pointed star is referred to as the star of David, or the star of Dawood, or the star of the Merkaba, or Bakamir, all right, or the star of what's referred to as the law of correspondence, all right, to say as within, so without, okay, as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without, so within, the Hecan order, okay, as opposed to the Penta order, all right, meaning the ones who come up under the Lamb and walk with the Lamb, not the goat. And did we not say that there was going to come a time period where we were going to separate the sheep from the goats? Which is why I tell you, don't call me no goat. I'm slaughtering them. Well, please don't call me no goat. We don't rock with the goat. It's for a reason that I would say that. It's not like I walk outside and get mad when I see a goat. Say, you devil. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm playing the same game the elite playing. That's why these motherfuckers who can't keep up, like the Merkaba 13s and all y'all niggas, y'all think I'm one of them. No, y'all motherfuckers is running around talking about some, I just drew the Illuminati standing in front of a pentagram, you just drew on the damn floor. The fuck? That don't mean shit. You know it don't mean shit. You trying to fucking do the same thing. The other folks, you trying to play games. You know it don't mean shit to be standing in front of no fucking pentagram talking about you joined the Illuminati. They don't know you. You can't call up the fucking king. They don't know you. That's not what the fuck this means. You have to understand. So it's a whole different conversation. We're not talking about some niggas that's scared of symbols. Nobody's scared of a fucking pentagram, bro. What the hell? We got them on our American flag. You think I walk around and see a fucking pentagram and get spooked? Nobody's afraid. That's why when people like Bobby Hemming was saying, you got to stop believing in spookism. It's spookism. They spooked you. They didn't want you to know. Bro, he don't know what the fuck he was talking about. I don't care what nobody say. Bobby Hemming didn't know what he was talking about. To be saying as above, so below was the pentagram, and people need to come up under the pentagram, and we need to stop being spooked by the symbol. That's the best you could do, Bob. You know what I'm saying? No. Everybody knows, literally, who the fuck the goat symbol was associated with. So when the elite use it, what the fuck do they mean? So tell people that the elite who came out with the rock orders, all right, which I told people what solve et coagula meant. Because when you say solve and coagula, you're saying to dissolve something, which means to break it down, and coagulate it, which means to take it from a semi-fluidic state and ram it into the ground to be solid. All right? I told you the infiltrating science, all right, where you have water sitting on top of a level. And the infiltration means it goes from a liquidic state, all right, of being in motion and water and flowing to the point where it's going into the ground and it's referred to as neutralized. The FBI got the term infiltration from science. And you have dissolved et coagula written on Baphomet. DC, Washington, D.C., Washington, D.C., divide and conquer. DC, divide and conquer. DC universe, divide and conquer the whole universe. Dissolve et coagula is literally saying dissolve, divide, break it down, and coagulate it, conquer it, infiltrate and neutralize the movement. Take anything that was in any type of form of motion, all right, as far as the liquid, and drill it into the ground so it is no longer moving. That's the whole point of the counterintelligence program. The whole point of the counterintelligence program was to find anybody who could bring water to a dead people. You understand? Listen, when they was using them in the movies, when they wanted to wake somebody up, what did they go get a bucket of? Water. And they splash it on their face. You know what I'm saying? And they wake them up. Okay, cool. It's the same shit that any of us that came through with this tone called Nabi, all right, or Ambia, came through with this tone of water. Nabi is water. Don't forget that. Navi, Navy. All right. That's why I told you pay attention to the Avatar movie, because Avatara meant somebody descended. Go look it up in Sanskrit. Avatara meant you descended into the body. Okay. The same type of conversation of conscious, what is it? The transfer of consciousness. All right. Being able to take somebody's consciousness and send it over to another body. Okay. What they say that this person was able to be an incarnate. To not just reincarnate, but to actually incarnate into a human body to interact in the earth plane or the next reality without having to assume the angelic form of. That sound mystical, don't it? Until they start explaining the science of jumping consciousness from body to body. Then they put it in a movie called Avatar, which was literally saying somebody descended into an avatar, okay, as an Illamutajessid, okay, or somebody who was an avatar, not saying that you were from this earth. You were literally operating a body. And they came out with a movie. And I told everybody to go watch it. I said, didn't I tell y'all? And then they came out with a movie called Avatar, Way of the Water. And water was Nevi. All right? We should say the way of the mother, okay? Or the way of the Medu, okay? With the Medu nectar. And I explained to you Madu, nectar. Madu means honey, and nectar is saying what? The bee honey. Okay? They just came out with a movie called Beekeeper. Listen, you can make it up if you want to. I don't got time to. The movie they just came out with, it's called The Beekeeper. Everybody need to go watch that. Everybody need to go watch it. It's almost like they read the How to Speak Elite book. Go watch the movie The Beekeeper. They started speaking about the secrets of the bees and how the bees function and how that's the real hierarchy and all that. I'm like, oh shit. They telling it? But you get the book, you say, damn, the whole secret was laid in the book. You know what I'm saying? So the FBI's whole thing was anybody who could teach nationality, which means to bring them into nativity. And natty, naval, navy, all of that's dealing with the water or life. Remember, life is water. Okay? Anybody who could bring water to a dead people or sleeping people. Because remember the book of the story of Lazarus, all right, where he had to wake Lazarus up. All right? Wake up, Lazarus, come forth. Lazarus, come forth by what? By day, not by dark. Come forth by day, Lazarus. Grab this rope, all right, so I can pull you out of that world of darkness. Why did I say rope? Because listen to the word Lazarus. Lasso. And what do you do with a lasso? You throw it. It connects to something. You pull something out. So lasso us, all right? Grab the rope and lasso us. We want to grab that rope so that we can be pulled out of the darkness. And they thought that when he said, Jesus said he was asleep, they thought the nigga meant, you know what I'm saying, he was actually asleep. But Jesus was saying the nigga was dead for real. He knew he was dead. But it was speaking about, again, allegory. All that shit is masonry, by the way, if you don't know. It's all Masonic. Okay? It's speaking about an allegory. So when we come forward with this water and we speak it and people are able to soak it up and it brings life to them and they're no longer parched, okay? They're not wandering around in the desert without an oasis, okay? Meaning they can find that oasis. All right? You can say oasis, okay, cool. Oasis, Isis. And Isis is the mother of water. All right? Meaning she was one of the original mothers with the original orders. And you find that Oasis, or Oasis, as you walking across them burning sands, and then you're able to figure out what all of this was about. You can't forget the mother. That's the secret. That's why I told you they have a degree for men called the degree deodorant, and they have a degree for women called the secret deodorant. Are you with me? And they hold other one with the axe. I told you what the axe was in the How to Speak Elite book, because they got the axe to represent how they cut down the degree of the woman, all right, which was referred to as the hatchet in George Washington's story of the cherry tree. Do you understand what I'm explaining to you? Do you know that when you know this type of stuff and you're able to crack these types of codes, there's nothing that you can look at, all right, and not be able to find God in it? In the beginning was the logos. In the beginning was the logo type. In the beginning was the marking. In the beginning was a sign. Why do you think the ayah in the Quran book is a sign? The word ayah means a sign or a miracle. All of these signs being revealed through these surahs, all right, or these sutras. And the word sutra was saying something that was literally a thread that'll help you get connected. Are you with me? So all this has been revealed. So you have to ask yourself a question. Why is it that all of these events lined up to this point? That Cosmological was factored in, Michael was factored in, and why are we in the 8th year right now, the 2024 year, okay? With that 8, which I told you was not just infinity, all right, that shows up in this symbol right here. It's not just infinity, okay? It's also the symbol of the gene. It's a symbol of the gene. And when your genes become upregulated, not downregulated. There's a million ways you can do it, okay? And we'll be doing this as we go. As a matter of fact, even burning the green light has been helping with that. Anybody else, listen, this is just for those of you who can answer this question. If you've been glowing the green light, don't answer because you think you're appeasing me. Anybody who's been glowing that green light since I told you to do it, not only have you experienced more agreeableness in your reality, you can confirm this by dropping your green emojis. Don't do it just because I'm telling you. All right. I'm saying if this is something that applies to you. Have you been feeling lighter? Lighter. You could say what lighter means to you. But have you been feeling lighter? Like, haven't you been feeling like you're breathing a different type of air? You right here on the planet with everybody else. But if you've been walking with that green light, don't you observe something different in your reality? Don't you find yourself wanting to be around only positive energy? Like, if you're around anybody who's negative, don't you find it easier to cut their ass away? Listen, some of y'all started, as soon as we started, as a matter of fact, most people, but everybody was coming to me in that time period as soon as we started letting off the light, because I already had the light, okay? But I pushed the green light movement, all right, to put y'all on to the light. Y'all was telling me, they say, yo, why did it seem like ever since I turned on this light, I'm being attacked from all sides? I said, this being called Shaitan, all right, or Leviathan, which is an energy, does not want to be overpowered. And they know that for every one green light that turns on, thousands of red lights are overpowered. Do I need to say it again? For every green light that turns on, you got to look at it, every level, all right? Every degree that you go up, every step on that ladder that you go up, you got way more information and light that you're exposed to. Yeah, you could be Enter the Princess. Let's just use those terms, right? You can have your light, you got the information, but if they stop you from going up them flight of stairs and you don't realize that you got other fellow members who were touching the craft before you got there that you didn't know anything about, if you don't go up them flight of stairs and access that next degree or that next level, okay, then all the light you got is up to Enter the Princess. That's all you got. But after you go through the fellow craft and you go up as an Eminem, okay, literally it's what it's referred to as an Eminem, okay, like Eminem. And interestingly, Eminem became the rapper that was better than every motherfucking body. And they eats their ass. But lyrically, nobody wasn't fucking with him. He became exactly what the fuck his name was, Eminem, as Marshall Mathers, but Eminem as in Master Mason. So when you become that Master Mason and you access that light, and you know what the works is all about now, okay, and you figured out how to use your hands, and now you're given an opportunity to cross the desert and go over here and do these other honorary studies, and you can branch off and become this and that and the third. You can activate the shrine and all this other stuff. Okay, now you got a whole different degree of light. So it's the same thing with your chakras. It's the same thing with these points where when you take that deep breath and people say send the energy and focus the energy and send it up your spine, do they tell you that the more you focus going up the spine, it's like it actually takes more focus to complete that cycle. It takes more focus as you go up. You actually got to put more attention as you go up. You got to put more attention on the heart chakra than you did the root chakra, because it takes more energy to sustain that buildup. And by the time it gets here, it got to be an explosion. Same thing with the light bulb. That same light bulb right there has something inside of it that's similar to our spine. It's referred to as a filament. Okay? And because those light particles, those charged particles, is streaming through that filament, all right, after it comes to a head and that spark occurs, then there's a corona that emits, all right, or a glow that emits. But if it maintained the same amount of energy from the moment that the spark occurred, that glow could never exist. Are you with me? It's the same thing with anything that explodes. There's always a chain reaction that emits more energy as that reaction continues. You understand? So it's the same thing with this. So the more information you accessing, the less of this other shit, you know what I'm saying, is able to have power over you, or you won't even see it to be powerful at all. So the reason why y'all were experiencing those attacks, remember I told y'all, I said they trying to open. They literally had some movements in Atlanta. There was some meetings, gatherings. They had the portals of Pan. Y'all remember that? They had the portals of Pan, and I was just, some shit was going on with people around in my family, and they were sending me. I said, what do you see around you? They said they see a sign. I said, what did the sign say? Right? It says La Portale, whatever the fuck the language was. But it says something about the portals, one of the languages, right? I said, okay, cool. I took that image, I lit up my work, and I reversed it. You understand? To help them get out of the situation that they was in. My point is this. They were running portal programs for Pan. Around that same time, all right, we was launching out the green light movement, and all these amber light beings were becoming furious because of it. Because they don't tell you, a lot of these conscious community so-called leaders, they got red lights in their basement. They go into their basement to do their rituals, and they burn a red light. You know what I mean? Now, they don't have to have a red light movement. All they got to do is bring amber light to the people, and people will be vibrating on that amber light. You understand? But I came out with the green light movement so I can bring the green light to the people so people can start vibrating on that green light. So the only reason why I ask you that is for the people that are listening who probably don't even know what this is about. They can just have some type of reference point to say, okay, he probably ain't crazy. I'm still crazy. But the moment you think I'm not crazy, we probably lose. You got to know I'm crazy because I'm insane. All right. And I wouldn't want to be anything but insane, because if you're not inside of your sanity, then you're out of your mind. All right. And when you out of your mind, that's the problem you got to deal with. These motherfuckers is really out their motherfucking mind. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get to that point where people become insane. All right. We say we got to put them in an insane asylum. I said, that sounds super good to me. Put me in an insane asylum. Yeah. Because I would love to be in asylum, all right, peaceful place in my mind. You're not threatening me. We got to put him in. We're gonna put him in a straitjacket. I would love to be in a straitjacket, because all I came to do was set this whole record straight. The one who came before me, all he came to do, he's still here, Malachi Z. York. All he came to do is set the whole record straight. So that if I end up in a straitjacket in all white, and I'm straight, you know what I mean, and I'm in an insane asylum, I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I'm in a shrine. I'm in a holy place, a sacred house. I'm sane. I'm inside of my mind. I didn't lose myself. And I'm straight. I'm walking that straight and narrow. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Put me wherever you think you need to put me. You know what I mean? We're going to put him in a cell. Okay, you going to put me in a cell? You want me to excel? Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. I've been in a lot of Excel programs. I love excelling. Put me in Excel. And I'm going to continue to excel. Every time I excel, every time I breathe out, you're going to have more problems. You try to lock somebody like me up. Every time I breathe out, you're going to have more problems. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll excel. I'll sit in excel. Whatever you want to do. They know that the bottom line is, here go the variable, your consciousness. You can think I'm crazy, but still see what I'm telling you. If it don't work, fuck it. Throw the green light out. If you put the green light in your home, nothing changes in your life, then this nigga's crazy. It's pseudo. All right? But don't call everything pseudo just because you don't understand it. That's why I said the science of green light. You know what I mean? Meaning there's something to know about the green light. They don't want to tell you, but there's something to know. There's something to know about the blue light. There's something to know about the indigo light. There's something to know about the purple light. Then there's something to know about the white light. It's a lot to know. So I could teach you one thing, but I know I can show you better than I can tell you. Let me tell you something. That green light has been teaching you. That green light has been teaching you. So when you step outside, you're interacting with this light. Sometimes all through the shadow. Some of y'all haven't turned it off since I said turn it on. You've been interacting with that light. When you step outside, your aura is reflecting that. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Now, this might sound crazy. I'm talking directly to you. All right? It's all for a reason. So when we get to that blue point, it's going to be quick. When we get to that blue point, you're going to feel it. It's going to feel like a cooling sensation. It's going to be like a reward for enduring the green. Because anybody know the green light ain't always peaceful. Sometimes you might wake up and be like, what the fuck? It's not always peaceful because it's purging you. You know what I mean? There are parts of your body, your essence, your being, where it's like, let me tell you something. If you listening to your pastor or preacher on a recording, right, you're less apt to sin. Your pastor could be a sinner. Okay? When you got elders around you all the time telling you don't do that, put that down, straighten up, pull your pants up, da-da-da-da-da. If you got people who are hands-on in your life, you're less apt to miss the mark or fall astray. When you got the green light burning around you constantly, you're less apt to fall off the path because it's literally around you constantly. I'm literally giving you the thing. This is the thing. Take the thing. You were looking for the thing. Here go the thing. You have to take it from the mental plane and pull it into the material plane. You were visualizing the green light. Now you don't got to visualize it. Now it's right there. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it's starting to reflect in your deeds. It's starting to show up. And now there are more of y'all. Listen, I'm proud of everybody. I'm seeing you. More of y'all coming to me every day, showing me things about what's happening. Half of this stuff, I don't even have to go. Y'all became the people who come to me with it. Some of this stuff I don't have to look up. Y'all bring it to me. Now I go and fact check it. I fact check all of the shit, but y'all bringing the code breakers to me. You with me? This is how I told you from the beginning. This is what we need to happen. The more people learn how to do that, it's like, oh shit. The green light starts showing up in your essence. And what they don't want to happen is when that green light starts showing up, you go and grab the hand of another person, all right, and that green light spreads. All right? If you don't get what I'm saying, let me take it over here. Can't you affect a mood of somebody just from walking into a room? Can't you? Can't you have a badass mood and walk in the room and you slamming shit, sitting shit down, motherfucker like, damn, I want to got into him. Right? You walk past a motherfucker, you don't say excuse me. Now they're like, damn, you could have said excuse me. Did they walk past a motherfucker, they don't say excuse me. Say, what the fuck wrong with y'all niggas not saying excuse me? There's 3 niggas in there want to fight. Everybody slamming shit around. Somebody done drop some shit. Somebody done try to reach down and hit it. They done bump heads. Bro, damn. And then they walk off and they didn't say excuse me. So this whole not saying excuse me shit started with you because you had a bad mood. Now nigga done got into a fight. Don't even know what they fighting. All right, somebody done got fired. The boss having a bad day. He done laid 7 people off. All right, customers don't want to come out. I don't know what they got going on. You know what I mean? Police done got called. The news is out there. All because you walked in there with a shitty attitude. And on the flip side, you can walk in there with a good attitude. Say, come on now, y'all. Hey, look, man, look, I know it's been challenging for these past few days, but come on now, y'all. Look what we did. We did this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da-da. Come on now. Hey, man, you start slapping nigga's shoulder. All right, if you would have slapped the nigga's shoulder when you was upset, you probably would have got into it with him. But you slapped the nigga's shoulder with the green light, he smiling and shit. You ever cracked a joke for somebody who didn't want to laugh and watch them try to fight the laugh? You know what I'm saying? They literally covering it up. Ah, bro, get the fuck out of here, dude. You crazy. Right? They didn't want to smile because they were trying to bask in that red light. You brought the green light, now it's like they up. Okay, that first scenario was amber light. The next scenario, you realize how you felt? Pay attention to how you felt when you were hearing about the scenarios, as if you were there. Because you wish a motherfucker would push past you. And not to, you get me? But you would also love for a motherfucker to be able to help you, all right, get up out of the darkness if you were in a dark mood or you had that dark cloud around you. You know what I mean? Niggas look for pick-me-ups. Niggas literally tell you they need a pick-me-up, which means you were down. And if you were down, that means you were weighed down. And if you were weighed down, that means you were heavy in frequency. Okay? This is just the science of it. So that's what I mean by the science of the green light. I'm not teaching you nothing pseudo. I'm telling you, I didn't say everybody has to get a green light in their home or they're going to hell. I didn't say that. I said, listen, this is what you can do. Let me show you what I grew up. I grew up with that green light. You understand? Those are some of the first things I was exposed to. Buildings with green lights in them. You know what I mean? I grew up with it. So now I'm just bringing you what I had. I turned out okay. That's not to say I didn't make no mistake. I turned out all right with right knowledge. And one thing about right knowledge is you didn't have to grow up with it. The moment that you, listen, let me put it in terms another way. The moment that you get baptized, okay, and you make that conscious decision to allow for God to work in that moment, you didn't have to be the saint. Not all disciples were just some saints. You know what I mean? Not all the NOI members, not all the Ansars, not all the Moors and Masons or whoever, the Eastern Stars, any of these orders of people who came, religious people, not all of them were saints before they walked that order. All it takes is for you to be exposed to that true light, y'all. When you were exposed to it, then it's like you got that opportunity to choose. And what if all we needed was to reach you, whoever you are? What if all it took was for you to be reached? You know what I mean? They gave up on my whole generation. Dr. Malachi York reached me, and I never met him personally. I never met him personally. All I did was saw him teaching. Because I was young, running around playing in the sand. All right, I was just trying to figure out why the fuck my mama thought what he was saying was so important over me trying to show her my pyramids that I built in the sand. That's all I wanted to know. Who is this man that he's so important that what I'm building ain't important to you? And you doing a little parent thing trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, I see you. I'm smarter than that. You're paying attention to him. Who is this guy? Right? I remember that. And the people looking up, he was standing, he had an upside down pyramid. He was standing there talking that. They got a big screen behind him. You know what I mean? I remember what my mom was wearing. So I remember all of that, but I never met him personally. Yet, out of all my generation of people who was there, the loudest voice that came out, not only the loudest voice about the green light, but the actual activator of that green light was somebody who, you know what I'm saying, didn't even know. You know what I mean? And I stayed with this. I never walked away from it. So some of y'all are coming in, y'all may be more diligent students. It's possible. I'm not talking about becoming some follower or fanatic of a man. I'm talking about students of life, constantly studying, just like Enoch or our brother who was referred to as the servant, Adapha, all right? Or just like our brother Jesus or Asa, or just like our brother Malcolm, okay? Or just like any other brothers who came through or sisters who came through, all right? Where you had Francis Cress Wilson, okay? Anybody you want to name who was a studious person who brought something forth, okay, that even after they leave, it'll be here for people to grab hold of and find out why it was there. You know what I mean? So you might crack something that I probably never would have thought of in my life. Some of y'all done said some things where I didn't even think about that. You know what I mean? That's why when I come on here and start speaking about whatever it was that people said, I make sure I give credit or say, if I'm going to say this, hey, this didn't even come from me. So some of y'all bringing that. That's what it's about. So Michael won. That's the whole point of all of this. Don't let them tell you anything different. Michael won. He won Album of the Year. So now you got some research to do. You got to go find out what was being said in the Michael album by Faise One. You got to go find out what was being said in the Ninth Hour album by Faise One. All right? And you got to wonder to yourself, okay, in the beginning of last year, he came out with an album called Blood of the Lamb. Why is he speaking about an album called Marriage of the Lamb now? What is it about? What is this about? All right? And you start cracking the code, you become ahead of the game. I won't leave you hanging. This is where we're closing it at. I won't leave you hanging. I'm not going to leave you trying to figure out what this is about. I've given people everything they need to know of how to do what I'm doing. We just sat on here for how many hours? Down there 4 hours. I'm sure they're going to give me a message in a second and say, all right, that's enough. Right? And we cracking code after code, on and 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 on. You know what I mean? If a nigga can sit on here for 5 hours, come back on, another 5 hours, come back on, and he constantly giving more wisdom, information. Even if he says some shit that you done heard before, it's like this time you're hearing it a whole different way. How is this happening? It's not what he's saying. It's the fact that he's saying it. There's a light coming through him. You with me? One day you'll get that. I can say the same thing that anybody else can say. I can say the same thing, right? But because I'm saying it, there's a light coming through me. What your goal is not to try to replicate me. Your thing is to make sure that whatever that light is moving through me can move through you. And you're going to talk to people in your communities. And you're going to introduce them not to Faise One to say that he's somebody to follow. You're going to introduce them to whoever it was that cracked open them codes for you. So that even if you're not speaking to them, I got things. But you're not going to stop there. You're going to introduce them to Malachi. You're going to tell them about Malachi York. You're going to let the truth be known. And you're going to show them who the person was who cracked open the seal first. To set the whole record straight. Then after that, if they decide to not walk with Malachi, that's one thing. If they decide not to walk with you, that's one thing. If they decide not to walk with me, that's one thing. Okay? If they decide they want to go and run behind whoever the fuck these people are just because they got some type of motion going on and they've been bamboozling the fuck out of everybody's community, spiritual, conscious, political, religious, all of that. They've been scamming the fuck out of every motherfucking body. If they want to run over there, let them. Don't ever try to beat this into people. That ain't how the green light move. Just offer it. Just make the offer. All right? And then let people decide whatever they want to decide. If you heard these words, this shadow, and you understand about Michael, okay, then you got your homework to do. Listen to them tones again and see what was being said. And the next homework that you do now is you go look at the images of Killer Mike. You go look at them images. Why was he holding them trumpets? He was standing in front of the CBS and Paramount. What the fuck you call them things? The little, what you call them stands? I don't know what the fuck you call them. But it was CBS and Paramount. What's the symbol or the logo for CBS? The little I, right? And Paramount is literally a word. We say para, you say para, you saying by something, okay, or near something, all right? And amount was above. So when you said CBS is saying Columbus, what? Columbus somebody, what the fuck was the Columbus thing? Who remember? CBS was Columbia something Studios, I think, right? The word Columbus, okay, was saying a dove, all right? So you got the dove above, and that I, and then the Paramount is the pyramid. Paramount, listen, Paramount, pyramid. And go look at the image of the Paramount logo, and you'll see a pyramid. So which means the eye and the pyramid. Well, when you put the eye plus the pyramid, you get the 14th level. How many tracks did he have on his album? 14 tracks. And at 14th level, 1 plus 4 gives you 5. All right? I'm telling you, that war is being won. They can't do anything about it. The 66 Grammy, Michael won. Now, let me tell you one more thing to leave with. What's 6 plus 6? What's 6 plus 6? 12. What chapter of the book of Revelation was Michael mentioning? Revelation chapter 12. Do y'all hear what I'm telling you? So keep breaking these things down. Keep paying attention to the green light. Keep observing the green light. Keep absorbing the green light. And like I told you, he don't win. The dragon will not prevail. Now, y'all done seen Drake start dressing up as that dragon. It's almost like he can't help himself. Y'all understand? And the reason why this teaching was called Death of the Dragon, look, they had the little comedian dude that came out about the tomb for Drake. Literally, the tomb for the dragon. The dragon does not prevail. Why was Drake dressed up with that big-ass spine shit on his back? Okay? For whoever the creator was who did all these dragon outfits and dragon looks. Why was he dressed up that way? You know what I mean? They can't shake it. They have to show y'all what I've been telling y'all. The same reason why he went and got that chain that was made where it had like the red dragon serpent on it. You know what I mean? It's like they can't hide it no more. You know what I mean? So it's to say, not that he's just the dragon alone, like Drake is the only dragon. It's telling you this is all a game. It's all a game. And you got to play it. Okay? And you got to keep beating them levels. All right? I just showed you Leviathan as Lift, the movie. Leviathan. I showed you the shit in the movie. And I showed you the fact that the plane is the if word, is the word plaintiff, accused. You can't Google that. You have to become the code breaker. You become Google. You understand? And you could take it to that level. Are y'all with me? So Leviathan also means levy, lift in French. Levy, all right? Or levy to say light in Latin. And light was saying as far as weight. Okay? So when they say levy means lift. And leather also means heart. If you have to lift up the heart, okay? That's the weighing of the heart ceremony. Do y'all get what I'm telling you? So if I'm tripping, go watch the movie Lift and tell me why Leviathan was the group of terrorists who was in the movie. Why did they use the word Leviathan? It's fucking Kevin Hart. What would he know about Leviathan? Is Kevin who? Kevin Hart. Lift up your heart. Now, you're at that point. Literally, you're at that chakra because of that green light. And you're not supposed to stay here. You have to keep lifting. You know what I mean? Keep ascending. That will cannot stop here. It has to keep going. Go look up the word chakra and find out that another translation for that word is a wheel. All right? So keep lifting. Lift means to ascend. Keep ascending. Remember Kevin Hart had that movie called Soul Plane. We ain't reached that level yet. Keep lifting. You know what I'm saying? And this movie was about it had a damn plane in it. Y'all hear me? All right? So it's all in the game. Keep playing. Before we get up out of here, let me see. One more thing I could probably pull out. Let me see. I can't see y'all comments now. I didn't cut the comments. Where the other phone at? Let me get the phone real quick. You got the other phone? It's recording. I'm gonna pull some shit out real quick, and then we ride up out of here. I'm telling y'all, once you get this shit, learn how to do this shit right here. This shit right here, nigga. This shit right here, nigga. The nigga was 48 years old. He 48. He literally 48 years old. 4 plus 8 equals 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit keeps showing the 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Watch this. The police came to get him. What we call the police? I mean, you call me crazy. Call me what they want. We call the police what? 12. The police came to get the nigga. You know what I mean? And he was at the crypto arena. No. Yeah, it was the crypto arena. Los Angeles. Los Angels. You with me? And who was the angels that lost? The dragon in them. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It don't go nowhere. All right? So we coming into the light. I'm going to run this shit right here, then we get the fuck up out of here. Don't ever forget the light.
Fuck black history. Ain't no black history. This ain't black history. This ain't that you'll see. They don't know about me. You don't know about me. They gon' know about me. You gon' know about me. See, I am not a slave. I was born to slide. I am not afraid. Hop about the K. Oh yeah, free to God. They went out of state. I'm a child of God. I do not belong to the United States. Fuck black history, tell Uncle Sam he can catch a fade. I went to hell, I mean school, graduated at the top of my class. Still never thought I was over my peers. We did that time together 12 years. Ain't that some movie? I think that it is. They won't control me, I'm really a member. I traveled that road, I came back with the jewels from. When I pull up, they peep how the roof gone. We some dog killers, won't chew bones. Know we all spit them, we supreme. Somewhere I read a nigga had a dream. Did them dirty, they keep playing back that same to us, but they bullshit. If you win the battle, you can tell the story and delete whoever, give whoever glory. Hope you listen closely, this ain't metaphor. This is straight up real and I prepared you for it. MLK was a motherfucking agent. At first he ain't know it, cause really they played him. They showed him the front of the building, they tell him the back was burning. But the secret they gave him, he tried to reveal it. Go back and listen to that I Have a Dream and the speed that he gave on the night before they killed him. He climbed up that mountain and seek the promised land. That boy was a Mason. By writing they sealed them documents forever. But I know Masons in Atlanta know better. They said he would kill cause of prejudice, yeah, but they lied to you. Here I come with that shovel on, yelling fuck black history. Ain't no black history. They gon' know about me. You gon' know about me. See, I am not a slave. I was born to slide. I am not afraid. Hop about that K. Oh yeah, free the guys. They went out of state. Yeah, I'm a child of God. I do not belong to the United States. Yeah, fuck black history. Tell Uncle Sam he can catch a fade. They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners. Raised up the children to worship their images. Set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them. And this shit get way deeper than your pigment. What if I told you was born sovereign and all you ever had to do was admit this shit? What if I told you that this was your ancestor land? That mean that they was the immigrants. Wait, I think that someone tried to explain that 100 years later. The Negro was still in exile in his own land. Natural birthright, Malcolm X style. What was Holmes saying? That's the curse, right? Fuck black history. Ain't no black history. This ain't black history. This ain't that you'll see. They don't know about me. You don't know about me. They gon' know about me. You gon' know about me. See, I am not a slave. I was born to slide. I am not afraid. See, I am not a slave. I was born to slide. I am not afraid. Hop about the K. Oh yeah, free to God. They went out of state. I'm a child of God. I do not belong to the United States. Fuck black history. Tell Uncle Sam he can catch a fade. I went to hell, I mean school. Graduated at the top of my class. Still never thought I was over my peers. We did that time together 12 years. Ain't that some movie? I think that it is. They won't control me. I'm really a member. I traveled that road. I came back with the jewels from.
Yo, look, if y'all for those of y'all who probably don't know, if y'all were trying to get the books, you see at the bottom right there where it say 10 books, you can send a donation. It don't matter the amount. You can send a donation, send your email with it, and I'll send you the 10 books. We just sent some out recently, so we will be sending out another wave within the next day, right, or so. So maybe 2 days. So let a few more people get theirs in, right? And then we go ahead and do another one. We reset that. But yeah, you can send a donation, send your email, and you get 10 books. All right, where I break down more of the stuff. Y'all heard me mention like how to speak elite, how to love again, all that. If you want to support the 144,000 fundraiser so that we can attack on the music industry a lot more, okay, that's all it is. It's just promo saying that we can put money behind Faise One as the artist. A lot of people might know the teacher and all this other stuff, but we need to make sure that the artist celebrity side is able to be cultivated also, because motherfucking celebrities got say so. You know what I mean? They got power. And they can make, again, a song that could change everything. And when you got somebody with this type of information, look, I just made the F Black History song, and that shit is a bop. You know what I mean? And the motherfucker can't say that. They can't say that without knowing why they saying it. You know what I mean? And now it's going to be like one of those things that people are going to be able to say and know why they saying it. Right? We don't need that shit. The end. All right, we ain't the same people. That ain't it. We don't want to do that shit no more. Y'all played everybody. You know what I mean? You wasted time. And we're not that generation. And we ain't going to be that generation to come. I'll make sure that these young people ain't going to be running around talking about some black history for no fucking reason, with nothing to show for it. You know what I mean? So it's all bullshit. Stop letting people play you. All of that. They votes or who president. All of that. Listen, it's different. You can form by yourself. You don't got to disrespect their organizations. You don't got to disrespect their corporation, because that's all it is. U.S. corporation. You don't got to disrespect any of that. You can work with them and all of that. But you don't have to believe in their figments, okay, anymore. You don't have to believe in their characters, anything they set up, or anything they gave you to believe in. You just don't have to. That's all I'm saying. So if you want the books, you can get it that way. But if you want to support the movement of, basically that's what it is, funding studio time, music videos, all that extra shit, you can send funds just for that, okay? So we don't raise over 12,000 so far, and we're going to end the fundraiser in April. That's when I'm going to start using the funds. You know what I'm saying? Put this shit to work.
Hell no, let my brother stay in jail now. What that bill cost? Oh, you made them to their tail, dog? Yeah, they fell off. Honk, donk, guard gangs, you and steppers, and they stomp. I got niggas pulling up with halo guns, boom, boom. Pull up all white, call that yayo where I come from. You don't want to play around with that boy, no, he is undone. A George Barry, he ain't even ask him to become one. That's just a real one. I used to pop out with a prop, but it's a real gun. For being proper, pop my grease and not the grill one. Bitch, I got that pie, not the weed. I know they clocking watching me, but I proceed. Cause if all else fails, I'm a gangster. Big capital G, just like she, get your rank up, yes sir. My nuts hang, I'm having my little wizzy. These bitches must be dizzy, tryna fuck with me. God is my witness. Whole city on fire, if I ride with my niggas indeed. Fuck with me, y'all could try, but I swear to God that these niggas will not survive.
Yeah, they better stop playing. I'll tell you, that's why they don't want folks to know who I am. What? Which one? Pick one. Who? How? When? Why? Where? Sometimes which?
You gotta hop on there with me, smoke. Pull up, get the puffin', we don't fuck with Diddy. This ain't TD Jakes and this ain't Jacob, we don't fuck with Diddy. Bitch, I'm from the AP, don't mistake it for another city. New Jerusalem, don't do the fooly fool with him. And if you do, you lose a limb. Don't make me do it till you see him. I'm walking on top of coffins, I let the G's in. Caution, we do this often, not just the weekend. Dark skin, light skin, brown skin. Bring them through the gate, through the gate, through the gate, through the gate, oh, through the gate, through the gate, through the gate, through the. I said dark skin, light skin, brown skin, break. Oh, ooh, damn, shawty fine, and she got a lot of mine. Hold up, what you doing all on this side of town? You know we get busy here, I thought it get fizzy here. OG with a pole, he's 64, he ain't hit Disney yet. He abracadabra, make your magic city disappear. And I hope that's crystal clear. All my niggas scrippers here. That don't mean we script, that mean we script. We flip the script, we switching gear. No unknownism, we don't do no 66 a year. 999, yeah, we gon' juice they world for everything it worth. Lucid dream, we formed a new regime, we really too supreme. This ain't just no human beings, you read it right, we moving green. But we still blew the scene, boom. Diddy. This ain't TD Jakes and this ain't Jacob. We don't fuck with Diddy. Bitch, I'm from the A. Please don't mistake it for another city. New Jerusalem. Don't do the fooly fool with him. And if you do, you lose a limb. Don't make me do it till you see him. I'm walking on top of coffins. I let the G's in. Caution. We do this often, not just the weekend. Dark skin, light skin, brown skin. Dark skin, light skin, brown skin. Dark skin, light skin, brown skin. Bring them through the gate, through the gate, through the gate, through the gate. Oh, through the gate, through the gate, through the gate, through the. I said dark skin, light skin, brown skin, break. Oh, ooh, damn, shawty fine, and she got a lot of mine. Where you gonna be when we pull up? Where you was standing when we went to slide? Was you a demon on demon time, or was you with the heathen believing in God? Was you a wannabe teacher who made you some money off people who needed some guidance, or was you a leader who seeks to divide? Or was you with YP or Yakir Rashad? Was you in the street with some weed in your fire like 3 in the morning, or 3 in the AM, or 3 in the rising? Was you at home breastfeeding your child? Was you in the middle of eating some fries? Were you like the people who heeded the signs, or the folks in the middle of eating who died? They like Leviticus 5, then why they feeding you lies? Private inside of they town, them private they shot at they mount, them private they die, lay down, they private forgot and they crown, they shot it and parted and lottie-dottie all around, and 3 days later they looked down on that ground, them private were not what they found, cause we got them prophets, they rhyme with us now, don't say that they dead, they don't die, they get called up the island, get all of their bodies get found, you don't understand it, you gotta dig down, deeper, we the ones spinning around, you ain't see us, where you gonna be at when we get it sweeping, where you gonna be at, we'll be there this evening, are you waiting on the law to rapture, better pray it don't fall on the Sabbath, or you say you a dog get active, or was you just a little bitty rapper? Or you say you a God get past us? Or was you just a little bitty capper? Oh, man, we got shit that can knock out your solar system. We ain't worried about y'all. Nah. Where was you at when we put out that call? Where you gonna be when we pull up? Where you was standing when we went to slide? Was you a demon on demon time? Or was you with the heathen believing in God? Was you a wannabe teacher who made you some money off people who needed some guidance? Or was you a leader who seeks to divide? Or was you with YP or Yakir Rashad? Was you in the street with some weed in your fire like 3 in the morning, or 3 in the AM, or 3 in the rising? Was you at home breastfeeding your child? Was you in the middle of eating some fries? Were you like the people who heeded the signs, or the folks in the middle of eating who died? They like Leviticus 5, then why they feeding you lies? Why you moving like you don't hear them trumpets? Confusing. Why you cruising like we ain't finna bomb shit? You must ain't tuned in. Why you moving like you don't hear them trumpets? That's confusing to me. Like, why you cruising like we ain't finna bomb shit? You must ain't tuned in. I come in the name of the source. Allah Akbar, of course. And all of my bars is torch. Allah to talk the voice. If God is not inside the mosque, then is God even watching us? Alim, I've been informed that God knows all things, both seen and unseen. I've been face to face with plenty spirits, both clean and unclean. They test every spirit to it, both seen what I seen. Exceptional, I mean it, I dream in my dream. Lucid, praying that I don't lose it. I'm screaming, I mean, holding on to that rope, won't turn lucid, fingers on string. I myself ain't trying to go to hell, but to each his own thing. But me personally, Jesus is king. Keep listening, you'll see what I mean. And they say I'm too young and I ain't been through nothing, and I shouldn't be feeling this way. They say we should salute y'all, humble with our head down, but I don't give a damn what they say. Hey, Mr. Farrakhan, I know you probably busy today, but isn't this an emergency? This requires a sense of urgency. I stood on truth, they tryna, no protection unless we a part of NOI. They told me be careful when addressing you. I've been advised, I was raised at best to have respect for you. I didn't cuss in this entire letter, and I respect what you did for us 50 years ago when I wasn't even in the picture. Plus, who am I to tear down the legendary I live to touch? Lions Park grip with a sound we talk till it's sliding off into an awkward silence. We walk beside each other in blindfolds. You my brother in the light, and in the darkness I recognize you. But what is with the fight? Can I be updated on how the love faded from Malachi? How you say his name once and then leave him inside to die? Where's the movement? Can't speak about freedom and try to hide him. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad showed y'all the vibes. Imam Isa, the book of the Lamb, opened your eyes to whom it may concern. Fear no longer, I have arrived. What a surprise. 22 years he been in prison, he's still alive. The stone that the builders denied, stoned and then vilified. Long as it's still a divide, no one can really rise. Nuwabi is worldwide, you don't know what we feel inside. And the Sabi is sword tied to the flow, they can't kill a fly. With all the dissension, won't all of you listen, it's different now. This just in, they yelling timber when I shoot the skies. To hell with the lake of fire, as long as you got your suit so tied. Why is everybody playing God? Remember humans die. This ain't come off of Google, really woo ties. 2 decades, you still brother, move aside. Dear Mr. Farrakhan, do you know how Judas plots? Judas ain't the shooter, Judas just moves to pursue the spot. Judas wanted to be Isa, but he wasn't true to God. Somebody can help our brother. Tell me, is it you or not? Elijah would have helped our brother. Tell me, is that true or not? Malcolm would have helped our brother. Tell me, is it true or not? No more black leaders, y'all see they had to choose a side. I walk through the hood and I don't see how y'all can snooze at night. I want to see fruit on every block, or what them soldiers for. Don't you know they shoot on every block? It's time to go to war. I don't see the Masons, the Hebrew Israelites, or the Moors. I do see the nation with visas living like overlords. My sheep know my voice. These haters say I'm too young and I ain't been through nothing, and I shouldn't be feeling this way. They say we should salute y'all, humble with our head down, but I don't give a damn what they say. Hey, Mr. Farrakhan, I know you probably busy today, but isn't this an emergency? This requires a sense of urgency. I stood on truth, they come in the name of the source. Lord walk bar, of course, and all of my bars is torched. A lot of talk the voice. If God is not inside the mosque, then is God even watching us? I lead, I've been informed that God knows all things, both seen and unseen. I've been face to face with plenty spirits, both clean and unclean. They test every spirit too, if both seen what I seen. Exceptional, I mean it, I dream in my dream. Lucid, praying that I don't lose it. I'm screaming, I mean, holding on to that rope, won't turn lucid, fingers on string. I myself ain't trying to go to hell, but to each his own thing. For me personally, Jesus is king. Keep listening, you see what I mean.
They say I'm too young and I ain't been through nothing, and I shouldn't be feeling this way. They say we should salute
Yeah, I just came up with a list of shit a bitch can miss me with. Why me put my foot off in the air now? I'm kicking shit. I won't really screen out on that cat. Now it's different. Now it's different. Oh, baby girl, 360 for me, yeah. 360 for me. Oh, 360 for me, yeah. They turn around, let me see her put their crown on. I'm trying to take it to the east side. I know a guy. We walk on water, we ain't turning wine, you know the vibe. I'm still a Mason till I fucking die, I'm certified. I don't gotta be Christian, just to worship God, that big old fat machine. I like them thick and having green, I like them slim, no graphene. I'm outside like graphene, without no mask and no vaccine, I still be smashing on the wing. One day my people going vegan, meanwhile she on 10-piece, lemon pepper peach drink. Fuck you mean? Yeah, I just came up with a list of shit a bitch can miss me with. Why me put my foot off in the air, now I'm kicking shit. I won't really screen out on that cat, now it's different. Now it's different. Oh, baby girl, 360 for baby girl. 360 for baby girl. Oh, 360 for me.
yeah.
I'm bro, they be like drum emoji. I need you to survive. Yeah, he need two-faced and that's on bro, they be like drum emoji. No nigga that pop out by my sucking for who coming for me. I want like that, who the fuck told Noodle to switch up on me like that? They say I went dangerous in high school, they don't even know me like that. Called out my city, let's do better, we got the whole world watching. I'm fucking with 24 heavy with Samo, back in my days with Playco. He son Dion like nigga, remember you don't know me. I'm like damn, say bet okay bro. When all I told me to lay low, and it seemed like shit got a little hot. I was getting death threat, they were flying. Like I became the enemy of every rapper in Atlanta all of a sudden. No pressure, I put up my peace, love and light and brought them guns. I'm ready, whole day expecting them all to run. I put in the word, it's already done. These niggas too fake and that's on phone and I show love to y'all. I'm a real nigga, ain't never wanna see my nigga Paper Love fall. But I couldn't get a feature for Paper Love, he wouldn't even fuck with me. But every video I ever shot for bro, I shot that shit for free. Put it on y'all mama, I want a nigga that y'all could call on. Folks to use you up, but then it's fuck you when it's all gone. Bittersweet, now that I'm the one they got their eyes on. Cause I've been slept on, stepped on, hated on it, then lied on it. Hurts, at least at first, but then you start getting pissed off. Then you start calling names, you like fuck everybody till your diss off. I wonder why J. Cole didn't want to sign a nigga. I was 18, but I'm glad, cause looking back, a nigga had it bad, and now I'm doing great things, and it's all good. I'm still in the hood, it made me paranoid. I ain't scared of niggas, I'm a threat to nigga, but I know they gon' shoot cause they scared boys, so I keep mine. Meanwhile, screaming guns down. Some call that contradiction, I call that intuition. I call that I don't live as long as I can so that I can finish the mission. I'm not Amberlight, but niggas still can't be green when you in this position. I'm talking to myself in the future like that, little nigga, why didn't you listen? These people, they evil, these humans, it's vicious. I ain't doing no shows, I feel like everybody Everybody trying to set me up, so now I know the Fed be tapping all my phones and every fucking call. I'm already knowing they want me locked and gone forever for the law. They got agents in the conscious community, I never fuck with y'all. Why the fuck would I scream free Rashad Jamal? He wasn't screaming out free Doc. Why the fuck would I follow 19 kids? That part of us still locked. Nigga done got it, they feeling cause I've been revealing that they ain't no shit but guap. But them niggas just marketed different than y'all get a ticket to listen to niggas just talking. That ain't it. I say they name cause I want them to feel me. And I'm throwed off for real, they gon' have to kill me. And then long live me, you feel me? I spoke on YSL, I spoke on Thugger being inside that cell without no bail. But just his voice to creep around their head, he loud as hell. When he come out that bitch and finally hell, only time will tell. Well, until then, I call that guy's work. I said fuck trip, I'm on killings, leaving these lives hurt. Crazy how trouble PNB and Takeoff had to die first. For y'all celebrities to admit this shit done fucked us up. But instead of labor money to cover expenses, we doing fish fries. Meanwhile, the NOI making money off us on the west side. Meanwhile, we didn't know why they wouldn't come help us, but they chastised the police ride. They don't be all in the hood cause they don't even care about crime. I don't see why we can't police our own communities, called Farrakhan. And I teach my brothers to carry guns, cause niggas ain't shooting fair ones. I love y'all. Shit, I need you to survive. Anybody that I mention is still love, but it's like why? All I did was challenge us to do better while we alive. I spoke the truth and now y'all folk want me to die. Why? Like, I need you to survive. Anybody that I mention is still love, but it's like why? All I did was challenge us to do better while we alive. Spoke the truth and now y'all folk want me to die. Why? Hard. Fuck that, bring the beat back. I need you to survive. And it's from the hard shit. I love y'all. I need you to survive. I'm saying I'm really on that, but I'm really on that. All I wanted was to run these streams up so that we could buy land. I had a song called Draco Halo with brother Eastside M. They see us in my caution video, cause we were like fam. So they started fucking with Tory Lane, Jacquees and Birdman. The energy switched up then. He started attacking my doctor like he ain't give his life for our people and sacrifice all the luxuries niggas take for granted. While y'all acting like y'all the spiritual fathers. Why you think we call Malachi Baba? If you can't solve it for you, I could do the math. But why bother? Spoke face to face with Rizza Islam about the action. I thought he would see my light, but he looked over me. If perhaps I was taller or a part of the nation he repped, he would have passed me $1 or maybe a quarter or a penny or a tag or a follow or maybe a comment or a share. Anything but just a stare, anything but just a handshake and let's take the picture quickly. I ain't tripping, I just hate how niggas did me. Like you don't know the son of God when you hear his voice and it's not gonna. I ain't saying my name Jesus, this Omari, that's my mama, that's Alina. So the light gave birth to the highest priest again. Am I speaking clearly? I incarnate every, nah, fuck it, they don't need to hear me. See, it was days and nigga ain't had nobody to talk to, not even serious. My tea's going cold, I wonder why it hurt my spirit. Knowing they kill us or imprison us and the people don't even care. They try to hit me with a sentence, I'ma run on and I mean period. With y'all picture on the wall to just remind me it could be worse than. I wish they ain't kill Sabian, leave us with all these little herbal men. We only got healers out here now, just vet you proud to start purchasing. Just a new hustle, all I hear 2 for $5, big bro, I got them perkies in. These niggas really be dinosaurs, just like burning without the purple skin. Snakes in the grass, snakes in the street, snakes in the wind. When you really shine, they love when you down, hate when you win. We got niggas from the shop to Atlanta imitating the land. They must not know the land be linking in. United we stand. If you know Nipsey was bringing the shit together, one of them in. That documentary wasn't even all they were worried about what they planned. Niggas talking about they been building, I ain't heard about it since when? Since Tama Ray, since Mwapu, since Sabian. You know how this lifespan each go. Ain't nothing shorter than. Other words, no matter how this story end, it's all good, more the end. Inshallah, let this war begin. And to whoever left who listening, I need you to survive. And I ain't never been no vegan, but I think it's truly wise. And cause you see me fuck a 10-piece up, don't mean I'm losing vibes. I want my people up them burgers and them pizzas and them fries too. But why you think I put them on that fast? Cause even if they ain't vegan and they do that, it still can reach critical mass. Be careful how you handle the masses, they really fragile. Remember y'all was street before somebody came and grabbed y'all like, damn. I need you to realize I ain't scared of death cause everybody dies. I ain't scared to step cause every time we scribe, it ain't nothing left to tell on how we slide. Yeah. I know folk like, damn, why the fuck he going Vietnam? They don't even know when I drop on it, just me being calm. She spelling I like EYE, she thinks she me a song. She never had love from G.O.D., she thinks she need a song. She talking about ain't no competition, like I'm in the big to compete a song. Like I ain't on some shit that I ain't speaking on. They think of Faye one the traveler, that mean that he be gone. I know they hate cause how I'm great, they don't wanna see me on. But if you hear this shit, just remember I need you to survive. 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 Come on now. Say I want a foreign lady, but I got a woman at home, telling her she boring lately. Meanwhile, she wore a new thong. She was trying to look good for me, but a nigga couldn't even acknowledge her nails. Only time I text when I want some sex, I would never know how that hurt feel. Every time I cheat and she found out, try to make her lie to herself. She bad as fuck, but I won't tell her, so I got her doubting herself. To the point she buy BBLs, got her titties lifted, she trying to look like a model herself. Cause maybe then I'll pay attention, but if my pockets do swell, I'm taking my money to somebody else who put up their body for sale. She wanna be loved, she wanna be held, she wanna be guided as well. But I broke her down like she wasn't shit to me, then told her that I love her, that's the lie that we tell. Hope you forgive us on behalf of us, for every time that you were used for lies, for every time that we fell short of what we say that we was, ever taken for granted your love. I know we hurt you. I know we were. Hope you forgive us on behalf of us. Ladies, do we ever thank you for taking care of our babies? Held it down when we went out to prison. Told her to keep it home and we ain't listen. Call you a bitch and pull it when I'm out with my friends. You thinking I'm too playing. When them lights was off and the shit got slow on the block, it was just you there. We beat you into submission. You still responded with love. 3 weeks a nigga been missing. You still be wanting just us. We got you pregnant and let stepped out and ran the road. We tried to play like we your friends and for them pantyhose. And so all those times you cried, we couldn't hear you from the outside. Y'all chose not to slide. I still don't know for why, but sincerely want you to know I hope you forgive us on behalf of us, for every time that you were used for lies, for every time that we fell short of what we say that we was, ever taken for granted your love. I know we hurt you. I know we were. I hope you forgive us on behalf of us. I think my people love the devil. Tell the NAACP they ain't no fucking rebels. Revolution marching in circles, same fucking level. But wanna talk about oppression, all I see is closed churches, open popping bottle sessions that look hard. Like what the fuck was George Floyd for? I mean sure, ain't nothing wrong with good times, but if you're at war, then don't you think it's time to get the scrap? Like is you really about this shit? It is you got. That's why I think my people love the devil. We love the way that he dressed, the way he glorified money, murder, and sex is the best, ain't it? God must be proud of these grown niggas with breasts, ain't it? I wonder what he think about Joe Biden pushing sex changes for children and shit. I mean, look at God, right? I mean, it's society can never be denied. That's why I think this country love the devil. Your villains, wars, killing, swords, stealing, oil, drilling, Japan. Vows, new Pinocchio, Pleasure Island. Save the children, we laugh at the facts, so the devil smiling. Nick Cannon spoke truth on the Jews, but instead of y'all encouraging Nick, you let him get canceled. We forever wildin' out of all these people. You let Cardi B lead you to vote for this retarded sequel, while the Democratic Party deceived you to think that Donald Trump was Hitler, and all of a sudden they targeting evil and care so much about darker skinned people. And Black Lives Matter supposed to be this positive lethal force of screaming fuck the police so that we all can be equal. But when it's black on black crime in the darkness, they leave you and tell you that ain't what it's about. But it's obvious we don't never see y'all when it's body trapping. We sorry, but it ain't no news cameras. Can you still make it? Click, y'all ain't slick. Fuck Black Lives Matter. All cops are not bastards, but I'm pretty sure that you motherfuckers is all addicts and you love the devil. Hate speech, fake, preach, play, sweet. While you stirring up confusion and you playing on my people's emotion, using the news and people love the devil. Fans tune into transhuman plans. You been scammed, Truman Show. These Democrats stealing more than a vote. And I just wanna know, is it devil, is it God above below? Is you in it for your body or your soul? Body or the soul? Never heard the dungeon cry. Tears of love is stolen to disown the prisoner inside. It's the calling all it takes. I'm falling on my face. Even though we falling straight free all the always beginners like you fooled me twice. And does the fire know your name to the land from which you came? Waters are running, rush to change. God has come with birthing pains. And if we don't deserve to be in the land of Deciphering, well then why would you promise me anything in between? And if we weren't supposed to find no death and no sorrow, well then why was it prophesied about a kingdom of tomorrow? Never heard the dungeon cry. Tears of love is stolen to disown the prisoner inside. It's the calling all it takes. I'm falling on my face. Even though we fallen straight, free all the slaves. In the Father's name I pray.
Dungeon cry, you all will cry no more. Why? Because your souls will now be free. That is, in the day that you all learn to go within. Because either you go within, or you will continue to go without the things that you need. And what you need is right here, right now, today. So listen to Faise One as we begin to wake you up and bring you to a fresh revelation, which is right now. The right now knowledge that you all need to free your souls from this prison called the dungeon, which is your physical body. So let your soul fly right now.
Obviously, even the blind can see God got his hands on me. Everybody been asking how it happened. They want testimony. Be careful what you wish and don't ask for nothing unless you want it. God wins. Stand in agreement with me. Don't let this moment slide again. Tell all these Christian rappers this war, this shit is not a trend. You scared to cuss, no doubt in my mind that you scared to die, my friend. And you don't gotta cuss, but you must forgot it's a lot of gins. And they got spells on us, better activate the God within. Faith without the work is just subversive. Been in the churches, been in the mosque, I've been in the synagogues. Merchants lurking, flipping paws, tables over pennies fall. Telling me this the word of God, but how much do that scripture cost? Don't piss me off. Never heard the dungeon cry. Tears of love is stolen to disown the prisoner inside. It's the calling all it takes. I'm falling on my face. Even though we fallen straight, free all the slaves. In the Father's name I pray. I pray in the name of Jesus. Here today we claim our children. Tell the dragon you can't have them. No. And if we don't deserve, I pray in the name of Jesus. Here today we claim our children. Tell the dragon you can't have them. No. And if we were supposed, I pray in the name of Jesus. Here today we claim our children. Tell the dragon you can't have them. No. To all our daughters and our sons.
It's not over. We're gonna win.
And the name was so important, and the fame went worth a fortune. But if they gon' try extortion, we screaming out good luck then. And we came in like the four winds and got the scorching. Cause we got fire, don't know what they do. And this ain't cow, we just on the move. Oh, we got power, you can employ the truth. Don't get me bothered, I ain't know the rules. Okay, so looky, nigga caught themselves trying to book me. Oh yeah, after like nigga done did like 10 years overlooking. Nah, son, they talking about click up. Nah, fuck that, put them tricks up out on your whole crib, cause it's up. I'm going hard again, I'm bricked up, y'all nigga gon' have to show me some. Family obligated, yeah, my kid OB like Obi-Wan. They gon' try to make the chopper take them down like Kobe, Bitch, I gave my life 1,000 times, they still don't owe me none. Universal donor in my blood, yeah, it's like Obi-Wan. Bigger than water, well, get off my dick, I know I'm Obi-Wan. How these niggas steppers when they worry about getting their toes redone. I came from the street, my mama bet, but this ain't Jody's son. I told this for life, you know what it's like to be told it's on that only 5 years old and showed your whole life in a moment, so you know what type of road I'm on. But only soldiers go who consciously make a decision to get in that molded lunch. And he ain't trying to live off bread alone, and they got molded lunch. They food will not endure like it's outside, and when that war is done, just know the soul is on and on and on. That's right, you know this song. Really can't be fucked with. Ask them niggas who the chosen ones. We just like the police song. And the name was so important, and the fame went worth a fortune. But if they gon' try extortion, we screaming out good luck then. So we came in like the four winds and got the scorching. Cause we got fire, don't know what they do. And this ain't cow, we just on the move. Oh, we got power, you can employ the truth. Don't get me bothered, I ain't all the rules. We got fire, don't know what they do. And this ain't cow, we just on the move. Oh, he got power, he just want the truth. Don't get me bothered, I ain't all the rules.
The name was so important, yeah. And the fame wasn't worth a fortune, yeah. But if they gon' try extortion, we screaming out good luck then.
I come in the name of the source.
And we came in like the four winds and got the scorching. Don't treat Godfather, don't know what they do. Yeah. Oh, this ain't coward, we just on the move. Yeah. Oh, he got power, he can deploy the truths. Yeah. Don't get me bothered, might ignore the rules. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, so look, they call themselves trying to book me. Oh yeah, after like nigga done did like 10 years overlooking. Nah, fuck that, put them tricks up. Ball on your whole crib, cause it's up. I'm going hard again, I'm bricked up. Y'all nigga gonna have to show me some. Family obligated. Yeah, my kin OB like Obi-Wan. They gonna try to make the chopper take them down like Kobe, huh? You know what I'm saying? Bitch, I gave my life 1,000 times. They still don't owe me none. You know what I mean? Universal donor in my blood. Yeah, this is the OP1. Come on now. From the jump.
I was inspired to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. I see y'all. I see everybody. I appreciate y'all.
This is how young, you know what I'm saying? I made it up in my mind. I'll keep it real. Ever since I was a young nigga, I was inspired to keep it real. I've been patient too long. Wait on my timing for me to steal. Ran up paper. Too long. Shit got major. Fuck you, hater. I got shit popping like I'm almost there. Hit the gas, yeah. I got shit popping like I'm almost there. Won't be long now. Oh, bitch, I'm on now. On now. I got hit or two. I get money too. I don't fuck with you. I'm a lonely guy. Ain't myself and I kill him every time. I get shit drilling like I'm about to build a bitch. Play with someone say, house up on the hill. Acres on the way, yeah. Acres on the way, yeah. Oh, most nigga, yeah, they hate me. Won't never beat me. They can't trade me. I'm dogging nigga with these rabies. I'm talking bigger shit. Lately, I finally feel these bridges breaking. London B, they couldn't change me. I'm still the nigga going crazy. And being on the lunch table and teaching all I'm trying to wake them. Peace and assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. I had a dream that I was supreme. My niggas was home. My partner was free. My nieces was grown. They had what they need. My mama was smiling, happy. My brother was strong. My people redeemed. We righted the wrong. The shit that we sing was finally on. The spiritual thing. Nigga, I've been waiting for so long. Ever since I was a young nigga, I was inspired to keep it real. I've been patient too long. They wait on my timing for me to steal. Ran up paper. Shit got major. Fuck you, hater. I got shit popping like I'm almost there. Hit the gas, yeah. I got shit popping like I'm almost there. Won't be long now. Oh, bitch, I'm on now. On now. Gone now. I got hit or two. I get money too. I don't fuck with you. I'm a lonely guy. Ain't myself and I kill him every time. I get shit drilling like I'm about to build a bitch. Play with someone say, house up on the hill. Acres on the way, yeah. Acres on the way, yeah. I've been 100 like Franklin. Praising the Lord and I'm thanking him. Better days I used to pray for them. I've been to hell just to live in a cell. I swear that light in that cage was dim. Savages and demons was raised with them. Witness murder before the age of 10. Rocking with God and I'm cocking my iron. One of a kind, I be dropping them bombs. You can tell them the truth like you dropping a dime. I've been investing in stocks and them bonds. Hit the gas like a blunt. Get it popping like a trunk. Always be honest, that's a buck. When you kick it to him like a punt. Who can get it too? I am living proof. You can learn from me. Watch my interviews. Wasn't feeling up. Thought about giving up. Had to shake it fast. Not like Mr. Cool. Always give it to them like they've been approved. They ain't in our class like they skipping school. I got hitters too. Might get ready to do. Make a nigga pay like the rent is due. Ever since I was a young nigga, I was inspired to keep it real. I've been patient too long. They wait on my timing for me to steal. Ran up paper. Shit got major. Fuck you, hater. I got shit popping like I'm almost there. Hit the gas, yeah. I got shit popping like I'm almost It won't be long now. Oh, bitch, I'm on now. On now, gone now.
I got hit it too. I get money too. I don't fuck with you. I'm a lonely guy. Me, myself, and I. Kill him every time. I get shit drilled in like I'm about to build a bitch. Play with someone, say, house up on the hill. Acres on the way, yeah, yeah. Acres on the way, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And depending on the life that I choose, hope to find freedom in the fights that I lose. I believe it. My depression tries to get in my way. Stars and all the blessings keep me humble, and I'll say, yeah, I'll take the hard way forever and always. Said that they be down for me and all that. That what they all say, I'll be okay. Depression, it really had me. I've been through heartache. Homies no longer know me. We had to part ways. Damned if I depend on people, they all fake. Goes to show I'm still alone when it all plays out. I can't complain. The game, pain, I'm not ashamed. I stay safe. I maintain. And to think that they could fit in my shoes, they had to be a different type of crazy. That's all that I knew. And depending on the life that I choose, hope to find freedom in the fights that I lose. I believe it. My depression tries to get in my way. The stars and all the blessings keep me humble, and I'll say, yeah, I'll take the hard way forever and always. Said that they be down for me and all that. That what they all say. I'll be okay. I'll be fine. I'll catch up even if I'm miles behind. Without a dime. Waiting on the sun to come from out behind the clouds to shine. You'll be proud to find that now it's time. And if it ever gets too hard again, I'll know just what to do. And that's depending on the life that I choose. I receive it. You see me walking around with my head hanging down. Just know I'll get through. Always do. And depending on the life that I choose, hope to find freedom in the fights that I lose. I believe it. My depression tries to get in my way. The stars and all the blessings keep me humble, and I'll take, yeah, I'll take the hard way forever and always. Said that they be down for me and all that. That what they all say. I'll be okay. Yeah. He the limelight, he the limelight. Pro the con, nigga, he pro the con. Grip it a 9 tight, loaded gun. He got a roll with one, keep it in mind right. Through the night, he in the limelight, round, right. He in the limelight, he in the limelight. Pro the con, nigga, he pro the con. Grip it a 9 tight, loaded gun. He got a roll with one, keep it in mind right. Through the night, he in the limelight, right, down right. Maybe that flag is sound. Truly one of the guys. This ain't fashion. We gon' drag it out like Trace on the bride. Learn my lesson. I'm gon' die crashing out, but I thank God that I could drive. Fought the bridge, I burned them all. Bitch, I can fly. Nagasaki bomb. I decide when I decide who not to drop it on. Falling Babylon. Chain reaction, game reaction. If I just nod, you gone. I call them BBL. They got the bodies done. Eyes on this phase, nigga. Oh, keep your eyes on that phase, nigga. Unpredictable, and not gon' play with him. He blaze niggas, fire zone. Solo pop and die alone. He wanted God's zone. Got him home and fly home. Whoa. He in the limelight. He in the limelight. Pros and cons, nigga, these pros and cons. Grip it in 9 tight, loaded gun. He got a roll with one, keep it in mind right. Through the night, he in the limelight. Right. He in the limelight. He in the limelight. Pros and cons, nigga, these pros and cons. Grip it in 9 tight, loaded gun. He got a roll with one, keep it in mind right. Through the night, he in the limelight. Damn Skippy, got down with me. He knew about the most door explorer. He say dominoes and send him down that road. They go to law, send me to hell, but the devil gon' bow. I'm with the fellas and they going sour sweet cherry and swing on down. Really amazing, stand on my square, that big really poppin'. I'm all in the hood. Green light if I don't like what you said. Green light if I don't like what you doing. It's wrong. Whoever thinks they can step in the way, he better get life insurance. Whole lot of cheddar, the mics is going. I'm doing better than I was doing, on. And flame on, bitch, I'm with what gang on. Bitch, I'm with them same ones, them day ones, them aliens, the black, they not the gray ones, the OES and Mason. Ooh, I'm in the limelight. I'm famous, it's game on, yeah. He in the limelight. Ooh. He got a roll with one, keep it in mind tight. Right. He in the limelight. He in the limelight. Pros and con, nigga, he pros and cons. Gripping a 9 tight, loaded gun. He gotta roll with one. Keep his mind right through the night. He in the limelight, right.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We finna pack it up. They got a minute left. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. The death to the dragon. The death of the dragon. Okay. We're gonna come back on here to break down real soon whatever else needs to be broken down. We got some more shows coming up with the Brother Young Elder. So we'll be probably taking it to the Young Elder show. The Killer Mike Exposed. All right, that's coming up. We got a lot of stuff coming. All right, I love y'all. Marriage of the Lamb album. I'm in album mode, so I'm already working on that. You know what I mean? People who was doing features with me, I was thinking about putting everybody on the album. I don't know if everybody wanted to do it. I spoke to a few people. I don't think they wanted. Some people wanted to do singles. But if you sent the feature in, I already got you. You know what I mean? So the process of recording those and putting it on the album, I'll talk to y'all individually to see what we're going to do about that. All right, remember, the dragon does not prevail. The dragon does not prevail. Michael won, y'all. Michael wins. The dragon does not prevail. Michael wins.